All right, well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here tonight on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Lex Zorn will join us momentarily as the Plainfield Quakers, with a record of 3-4, play host tonight to the Whiteland Warriors. Again, Plainfield coming off a tough loss last week at Franklin. They had won 3 in a row before that, but a tough loss in which 3 times they were inside the 10-yard line of Franklin without scoring points, and that ultimately was the difference in the game. Before we hear a little bit more about tonight's game, senior night at Plainfield High School, let's thank the sponsors who make tonight's broadcast possible: CCB Contracting, Geodis, Ganell Financial, Julia Burbridge, Remax Centerstone Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield Mortgage Lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley Fairway Mortgage, Bailey & Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, MyIT Indy at myITindy.com, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, The Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. Still got about 10 minutes up on the clock. It is senior night, as we said. Senior football players being introduced right in front of us on the track near the field of play. The Plainfield Quakers tonight will be the home team on the scoreboard, wearing the home red jerseys, white letters and numbers, and gray pants. And with that, we'll bring in the guy who will accompany me through the journey tonight, Lex Zorn, with a preview of tonight's game.
Well, thank you, Rob. It's great to be here, as always, under the Friday nights at Red Pride Stadium. And I'll tell you, when you're a high school football fan, you know that 2 things happen every October. The weather gets colder, but the tension gets hotter. And right now, the tension surrounding your Quakers is red hot, because they've had a wild up-and-down season, and now they only have 2 games left to get ready for the playoffs, which start in just 3 weeks. Now, Plainfield opened the season with its first 0-3 start since all the way back in 1996. A shaky passing offense, defensive lapses, and a few injuries were all contributing factors as the Quakers lost 30-28 to Greenfield Central, 22-14 to Harrison, and 38-7 to Mooresville. That caused serious concern among Plainfield fans that head coach Brian Woodard's farewell season would be a sad one. Then, however, the Quakers responded with their first 3-game winning streak since 2015. Their offense was good and their defense was outstanding in a 28-14 win over Perry Meridian. They were outstanding on both sides of the ball in a 43-14 win over Greenwood. And then, despite sputtering for much of the second and third quarters, they pulled off probably their most emotionally satisfying win in over 10 years, beating Decatur Central 34-32 in overtime, finally ending a 13-game losing streak to the Hawks. Last week, though, Plainfield regressed, beating themselves at Franklin. In the first quarter, the Quakers turned it over on downs at the Franklin 9. And at that, we will pause for the national anthem.
No, I think we get
Oh, no, okay. Sorry.
just dance team.
Okay, sorry about that. And then in the second quarter, let me start over. In the first quarter, the Quakers turned it over on downs at the Franklin 9. Then in the final seconds of the second quarter, Franklin intercepted a pass near the goal line. And finally, in the third quarter, with Plainfield trailing 21-6, Troy Larson charged at the end zone and was about to score and make it a 1-possession game, but he fumbled at the 1, and Franklin's Bo Baker returned it 99 yards for the touchdown as the Grizzly Cubs rolled to a 35-12 win. Now in our senior day, and possibly the last home game ever for Coach Woodard, Plainfield tries to bounce back against a painfully familiar opponent, the Whiteland Warriors, who entered this game ranked number 3 in the state in Class 5A with a record of 6-1, and who've beaten Plainfield 10 of the last 11 times. This year, Whiteland got off to a 5-0 start, including wins over Lawrence North and Columbus East. Then they had a setback 2 weeks ago in a 35-21 loss at Martinsville, currently the number 8 ranked team in Class 4A. But they got back on track last week with a 48-30 win over Mooresville, who's now ranked number 10 in Class 4A. Now, so far this season, Plainfield has rushed 222 times and passed 161 times. Starting quarterback Hunter Newell has completed 49 of 160 passes. He's completed 94 out of 160 passes. That's 58.8% for 1,150 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. His leading receiver is senior Grant Irwin, who has 22 receptions for 355 yards and 4 touchdowns. Senior Noah Hessing has 23 receptions for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. Junior Isaiah Miller has 14 receptions for 164 yards and 1 touchdown. And junior Caden Vanderbush has 14 receptions for 142 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, the Quakers are led by senior Troy Larson who has 20. Troy Larson, who has 22 rushes for 389 yards and 1 touchdown. Senior Noah Hessung has 54 rushes for 333 yards and 5 touchdowns. Senior Antonio Williams has 44 rushes for 207 yards and 4 touchdowns, while junior Hunter Newell has 48 rushes for 4 net yards and 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Whiteland has rushed 30. Meanwhile, Whiteland has rushed 315 times and passed only 64 times, a ratio of 4.9 to 1. Their starting quarterback is senior Kevin Denham, who's completed 37 of 64 passes. That's 57.8% for 601 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. His leading receiver is junior Gunnar Hicks, who has 10 receptions for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Warriors do most of their damage on the ground, and they do a lot of it, led by senior Peyton Emberton with 128 yards for 856 yards and 7 touchdowns. Senior Jonathan Crowley, has 50 rushes for 447 yards and 6 touchdowns. Sophomore Nereus Moore Smith has 28 rushes for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. And sophomore Slate Valentine has 34 rushes for 189 yards and 1 touchdown. Head coach for Plainfield is Brian Woodard, who's 95 and 83 in his 17th and final season with the Quakers. Head coach for Whiteland is Darren Fisher, who's 124 and 72 in his 18th season with the Warriors, and 185 and 144 in his 32nd season overall. He was previously the head coach at Cascade. He's won 4 sectional championships at Whiteland, and he won one at Cascade. In fact, the only sectional in school history back in 1991. Well, this is senior day here at Whiteland. At Plainfield. So all the seniors were just honored along with their parents. They were walked down the track accompanied by their parents just a few minutes ago before the game, before the band came out here on the field. Right now it's a chilly early autumn evening here in Plainfield. We had a high today of 61 degrees. Right now it is 55 under a mostly clear sky. And now your Quakers are running out onto the field before a nice ovation. The crowd not quite as much as we saw for the first 3 games, probably a little bit hampered by the weather. We see a lot of jackets, a lot of hoodies, scarves, caps out in the a lot of head protection out in the crowd. We still have, looks like, I think in the neighborhood of 1,500 Quaker fans, and then we have about 300 or so Whiteland fans across the field in the visiting bleachers who made the trip, which normally would be about 40 minutes, probably about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 20 minutes or 90 minutes under this typical US 31/I-465 traffic. You know, I worked downtown for 18 years until this year when I started working from home. And when I worked downtown and I had a game in Greenwood, Whiteland, or Franklin, my cutoff time to leave was 3:30. Otherwise, I would seriously risk being late for the game. Anytime I had to go on 31, and actually, I would try alternate routes to avoid US 31 if necessary, because US 31 is absolutely brutal. And of course, my broadcast partner Rob Kendall and I, had a humorous experience back in 2016 when the Greenwood junior varsity team only one bus load of players showed up. They had 17 or 18 players, and they had exactly 2 fans. I mean, 2. And we figured out they probably got probably most of the fans on one of the buses got stuck on US 31, and The only good thing I can say about the game is thankfully nobody got hurt. And at that, we will pause for the national anthem.
For the playing of our national anthem, conducted by the Plainfield High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Michael Carpenter.
Well, thank you to the Plainfield Marching Quakers for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. As I was saying, 55 degrees your temperature now here in Plainfield. 1 week from tonight for the regular season finale down at Martinsville. We're supposed to have a high of 59 for that day. Hope you all will get out there for that one as the Quakers have their final tune-up for the playoffs, which start in 3 weeks. Speaking of which, I'm going to be talking more about this at halftime. But this Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m., the IHSAA will announce its pairings for this year's sectionals at 5 p.m. on their webpage. That's ihsaatv.org. That's ihsaatv.org. Plainfield this year is in not an easy sectional, but the weakest sectional that they've been in their 8 years here in Class 5A. I'll be talking about that more at the halftime, and I do think that Coach Woodard has a very solid chance to finally get that elusive sectional championship. That would be a wonderful, wonderful send-off present for him. So hopefully we'll get the job done. And then beyond that, if we get the sectional, who knows what will happen beyond that. You know, we'll be playing with house money at that point. And now we've got the captain's meeting there at center field. And, boy, it's sure great to see handshakes again after the coronavirus season 2 years ago. And I'll tell you, you know, these seniors, as Rob mentioned this week to Coach Woodard on the Coach Woodard Show, which you can hear on Audio Sports Online, these seniors, you know, every senior class is special because, you know, they've gone through the program for 8 or 9 years, starting with youth football, and really paid their dues, giving thousands of hours of blood, sweat, and tears to this program, probably enduring a few injuries along the way. But, man, you know, this year's senior class, you know, these seniors were sophomores during the coronavirus season, which the kids were just put under so many awful restrictions, and they really endured it.
All right, so here we go. Plainfield getting ready to kick the ball off to begin the game. They won the toss. They deferred, and so that means they will get the ball to begin the second half. Plainfield Quakers, the home team on the scoreboard, in the home red jerseys, white letters and numbers, gray helmets, gray pants. The visiting Whiteland Warriors, the visitors, white jerseys, blue letters and numbers, blue helmets, and orange pants. Whiteland will receive the kick. They will move from right to left on your computer screen. And to kick it away for Plainfield is number 97, Cameron Grimes, a sophomore kicker.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes got off to a great start with his field goals this year, or his extra points. He made the first 16, but now he's missed the last 4, so hopefully he will get that turned around.
All right, so Grimes tees it up at the 40. And he is set, and he is just about ready to put the right foot into it.
7:02 your time of day, just getting started a little bit late today.
And Grimes puts a hand up in the air. And we'll put the right foot into it. It's a high end over end kick. It'll be taken, it'll sail into the end zone, and that is a touchback. And the visiting Whiteland Warriors will start at the 20-yard line.
Now, Whiteland is an outstanding rushing team. They have nearly a 5-to-1 rush pass ratio. They have their top 5 rushers all average more than 5 yards a carry. Now, rushing defense has been the most consistently good aspect of this Plainfield team this year. So what we got to do is take away the big play and just keep their offense off the field as much as possible.
All right, here we go. Snap, whistles, flags fly before the opening snap, and it's probably going to be a procedure penalty on Whiteland. No, it's an offsides on Plainfield. Number 17, Kevin Denham is the quarterback for Whiteland.
Kevin Denham is a senior, does not throw a lot, but he does a good job when he does throw. He's completed about 60% of his passes.
So now what was a 1st and 10 becomes a 1st and 5. Not a good start for the Quakers. Denham down under center. Man goes in motion from right to left. Little end around, big hole. He's got the corner, room to run, 1st down across the 30. And I believe that was number 32, Jonathan Crowley, with the run.
Yeah, Jonathan Crowley, part of a 5-man arsenal of rushers. They give him credit for 8 on that one. But yeah, these guys, I always say all you need is 3.4 yards per carry to keep the clock and the chains moving. And the top 5 rushers for the Warriors are all doing that. So this is going to be a real workout for our rushing defense today and a great tune-up for the playoffs, which start in 3 weeks.
Little end around this time to the near side of the field. Another big hole up near the 40-yard line. Host of Quakers get him, before a gain of about 6 yards. That time it was number 11 on the run, Malik Perkins.
So Perkins gets credit for 8. So 2 rushes by Whiteland, 1 by Crowley, 1 by Perkins. Each produces 8 yards. So now it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Warriors. 11:28 to go here and counting. This is senior day at Plainfield. Game 8 out of 9 in the regular season. Possibly the last home game ever for head coach Brian Woodard. We hope not, but we will see.
2 receivers to the right, 1 man to left. Man goes in motion from right to left, fakes the end around, gives straight ahead, runs into a pile of Quakers, drives forward. Gain of about 3, maybe 4. Looks like based on the spot it is enough for a 1st down. And that was number 4 that time, the ball carrier, Peyton Emberton.
Peyton Emberton is the leading rusher for this team. He has, coming into tonight, 128 yards, 128 carries for 856 yards and 7 touchdowns. It looks like he will get we'll get to 1,000 on the season without much trouble.
2 receivers in tight right. Now man goes in motion from left to right, end around again to the far side of the field. Room to run, big hole. He's off to the races.
No.
He could go the distance. He's inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, and that is a touchdown for number 11, Malik Perkins.
So stunned silence here among the Quaker fans. Only a minute and 28 seconds into this game. And, boy, I said that we got to take away the big play, and so far we have not failed. So far we failed to do that. Malik Perkins with an outstanding rush there of 57 yards for the touchdown. Now the David Mathis to attempt the extra point. He's 23 of 25 on extra points on the year.
Snap spot, kick is up, kick is down the middle. The kick is good. And so Plainfield trails it 7-0 with 10:32 left to go in the 1st quarter.
Now what we got to do is not panic. Understand it doesn't matter if it takes us 30 seconds to score or 10 minutes. We just got to score. We cannot risk going down 2 possessions against this team. Whiteland is 6-1, currently ranked number 3 here in the state in Class 5A. They've been ranked number 1. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, they were ranked number 1. They fell off after the surprising loss to Martinsville a couple of weeks ago, a 4A team, our opponent next week. But then they bounced back with a big 48-30 win last week against Mooresville. So a 57-yard rush for a touchdown by Malik Perkins. A 4-play, 80-yard drive there by the Warriors to start off this game.
Yeah, just about the worst start possible for Plainfield there, Leck.
Yeah, so the offense has got to be ready. Last week, we moved the ball pretty well, but we beat ourselves, coming away with no points, getting inside the 10 3 times. The most devastating was when Troy Larson was about to get a surprise short kick. Oh, we better be ready. We better be on top of it. And we got the penalty. I think it's for going out of bounds.
Boy, Plainfield just looks really flat-footed here early, and I was thinking that during the warm-ups too. We talked with Coach Woodard during the coaches show about that, how he saw that last week, and man, I'll tell you what, they just appeared totally unprepared for that. And then when that ball was in the air, it was like nobody was running towards the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real concern because I've seen that not a lot, but a few times over the years in my 11 seasons of high school commentary. The Plainfield is starting off at least in a good field position. Where are they marking it here? At 42. I think they're.
Yeah, they said 5 yards from where it went out of bounds.
Okay. So Plainfield taking over at the 42, but I've seen a few times where, it was like a 20 or 30-yard kick, and the receiving team acted like it was a punt and didn't go after it, and then the other team recovered for a
snap. There's the give to the near side of the field, runs into a brick wall, and no gain that time as Noah Hessong with the run. He was hit by a host of Whiteland defenders.
Hessling has had overall a very good senior season. He's a 4-year starter. His first 3 years he played, I believe, exclusively, or at least almost exclusively, wide receiver. And this year he's split between wide receiver and rushing back, wide receiver and running back. Only picks up a yard there, though, so now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hunter Newell takes it. Screen pass, it is caught. He's going to be short of the first down. He picks up 5 or 6 there. That was Hessing there. So Hessing here on his senior day, already on the first possession, a rush and a reception. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 after the pickup of 5 there. So Hunter Newell was complete on his first pass. Newell has gotten progressively better as the years gone on. He looked shaky the first 3 games. Has emerged and played very well since then.
Working out of the gun is Newell. 3rd down opportunity coming up here for Plainfield. Ball up at the 47. Snap back to pass. Steps up. Rolling right side. Rolling. Going to step out of bounds. And he is hit out of bounds. And that'll go as a sack for the Whiteland Warriors. Again, a host of Warriors in there, including number 52 for Whiteland. I guess we'll give credit to 52, Mason Darlington, a senior, with the sack. So the Plainfield opening drive goes nowhere, and it'll be, with 9:14 to go in the first quarter, a punt opportunity for Plainfield.
Definitely not the kind of start they wanted. 0 net yards on our first possession, and now set to punt with 9:14 to go here in the first quarter. 1 man back deep to receive for Whiteland. Whiteland having beaten us 10 of the last 11 times.
He does get that kick away. Good kick. It'll hit at the 30. It'll take a sideways bounce now back towards Plainfield's territory, and it'll be down at the 29. So not a good bounce that time, even though the kick was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Whiteland will have it 1st down and 10. And you said this just a few moments ago, Leck. Plainfield has got to make some stops here.
Yeah, we got to take away the big play, and we got to keep their offense off the field as much as possible. 3 and out on our first offensive possession. With 0 net yards, we got to do better than that. Come on, boys. Let's have a great senior day.
So Plainfield now on defense as the Whiteland Warriors come back onto the field, leading at 7-0.
Come on, boys.
Number 17, Denham, down under center. Offset eye in the backfield. Snap. Give is straight ahead. Nice little ball fake that time, and it ended up being a run straight ahead, short gain. Number 4 that time, Peyton Emberton with the run.
So Emberton picks up 4 there. He averages I believe 8.7 coming into tonight. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6. We got to get a stop here. Yeah, Emberton averaging 6.7 yards a carry coming into tonight. He has 7 touchdowns on the season through the first 7 games.
Offset eye again in the backfield. 2 men to the near side of the field, 1 man to the far, all in tight. Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, pitch to the near side of the field. Steps it up. Big hit that time. Nice job by the Plainfield. I believe coming up there from the linebacker spot for Plainfield, number 15, Alex Holsclaw, and no gain on the play, or maybe a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, they're showing a 3rd and 5 now at the 34, so we got to get them off the field here.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Like I said, Leck, it's just there's such a high-profile, high-powered offense that it's going to be very hard for Plainfield if they get down multiple scores. So a great opportunity here on 3rd down and 5.
Make the play of your life here, boys.
Boy, all sorts of movement in these formations tonight early from Whiteland. 2 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Man goes in motion from the left to right. Snap, little end around to the far side of the field. Cuts it back. He's close to a 1st down.
He got
Looks
it.
like he got it. And I'll tell you what, yeah, he got it by just about a yard up to the 40. So Plainfield with an opportunity to get off the field. Couldn't do it that time. And they have not thrown a pass yet, Leck, but it appears like Plainfield not really, for the most part, stuffing that line of scrimmage early, even though the Whiteland Warriors have yet to throw the football.
Yeah, Whiteland has nearly a 5-to-1 rush pass ratio, so got to get a stop here. 1st and 10 at Whiteland, 1st and 10 at their own 40.
So 3 guys to the right, snap, pitch, movement up front. That's going to be on Whiteland. As, again, they very confusing formations here because Whiteland will set themselves. They will then go in motion. They will then reset, and they're moving multiple guys at the same time. And so it makes it a little bit harder to defend. That was 5 yards against Whiteland, and it'll bring up a 1st down and 15.
Well, Darren Fisher is the dean of coaches here in the Mid-State Conference. He's in his 18th season with the Warriors, 32nd year overall. Now the 2 guys in 2nd place, Brian Woodard and Mike Campbell at Greenwood, each is stepping down as head coach at the end of this season.
Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, end around, another hole and more room to run. Finally tackled, pickup of about 7 that time, and it was the guy who scored the touchdown earlier, Malik Perkins.
So they give him credit for 7 there. So Perkins already 3 for 73 and a touchdown here in this very young game. Only 6:28 to go here in the 1st quarter. This is senior day here at Plainfield. Game 8 out of 9. The Quakers 3-4. The Warriors 6-1, having won 10 of the last 11 games in the series. Plainfield's only win in that span coming in 2017, a 50-47 win at Whiteland.
2nd and 8 from the 42. Snap, gives straight ahead, bounces off a couple tackles, drives up to the 45. Host of Quakers get in there on the hit, and it'll bring up another 3rd down and 5. So an opportunity you would assume if Whiteland does not get it for Plainfield to get the defense off the field with 5:50 left to go in the 1st quarter.
So a 3-yard pickup there.
Plainfield now, or rather Whiteland now moving from right to left on your computer screen. Road white jerseys, blue helmets, blue letters and numbers, orange pants. Big 3rd down opportunity again for the Warriors. 2 men to the right, 1 man to the left. Man goes in motion from right to left. Snap, the end around. There's the give. Big hole, drives forward. He's close to the 1st down. Another 1st down. Got it right at the marker. And that time it was Nereus Moore-Smith, number 13, with the run. Dove right to the marker, and it wasn't up for a 1st down. So the ball at the 49, now in Plainfield territory.
So, yeah, that's twice on this drive that Whiteland has converted on 3rd down.
As you said, 1st down and 10 coming up. Back down under center is Denham. The man going in motion from right to left. Snap, end around again, cuts it back, drives forward. Gain of about 3 that time. Well, I guess we'll call it 2 down to the 47. That was number 11 again with the run, Perkins.
Picks up 3 there. A very, very silent, tense crowd for Plainfield. You know, we were feeling really euphoric on top of the world when we beat Decatur Central 2 weeks ago. Then a very disappointing performance at Franklin where we just beat ourselves last week. Now a very shaky start against Whiteland, hoping to get it turned around here. 2nd and 7 now for the Warriors at the Plainfield 46. 11 plays by the Warriors so far, all rushes.
End around to the far side of the field. Man cuts it back. He's got room to run. 1st down into Plainfield, deeper into Plainfield territory, down around the 30. That was number 32, Jonathan Crowley, with the run. And look, it appears like Whiteland just keeps running these end arounds, and Plainfield appears totally confused that they're running them, but they're running them every single time.
Yeah, and you know, it's just so hard. And you know, the second game I ever commentated in my whole career. It was Decatur Central versus Whiteland 10 years ago, and I've just always been awed by Darren Fisher's teams. They're just so good. You know, they don't always have the best talent, but they've got such a great system.
Snap, pitch, to the far side of the field, driving around a couple of defenders, out of bounds, short gain. I guess eventually they'll put him all the way down there. It's about 3 yards on first down to the 26.
Yeah, it was Perkins again.
I mean, they are of no threat so far to throw the ball, but yet Plainfield just does not seem to be able to figure out this run, in which half the plays they're running or more, it seems like so far, are these just little end arounds.
Yeah, we've got to make an adjustment and fast.
Down under center, Kevin Denham puts the man in motion from left to right. Snap, gives straight ahead, hit, drives forward, was hit at the line of scrimmage, but able to spin forward for a gain of about 3.
That was Emberton.
Yeah, number 4, as you said, Peyton Emberton. 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. Whiteland now all the way down to the 23 of Plainfield. Third down coming up, third down in about 3.
Now, obviously, they're in 4-down territory here, but yeah, the Whiteland already. It'd be good to at least get a third down stop here. At least push them to 4th down.
Down under center, man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, and no idea where the ball was. Oh, it was an end around, and it was short of the first down. Great job by Plainfield, stopping him well short. In fact, it was hit, ended up being in the backfield, it looked like. Maybe they'll say a yard-ish, down to about the 21. He needs the 19. It was 32 that time. Crowley on the run. Yeah. So 4th down coming up here for Whiteland.
Boy, this would be huge if we can make the stop here. Come on, boys. Make the play of your lives.
And now Whiteland looking around, and now we're going to get a timeout. I think it's Plainfield that will spend a timeout. Yes, it is. And I think Brian Woodard and company recognize this here. That this is a very big play in this ball game. Ball is at the 21. They need to get just past the 20, so about 1.5 yards to go to pick up the first down on 4th down.
If we get this stop here, we've got some momentum, and all we need to do is score, and we can tie or take the lead. On the other hand, if they get this conversion here, they got a good shot to put us down in a 2-possession hole. And keep in mind, there are basically even with 7:20 your time of day, there's only 2:48 to go here in the first quarter, and Plainfield's only had 3 offensive plays in the first 9-12 of this game. That's how much, Whiteland is just dominating. And again, they have not thrown a pass yet. And keep in mind, not counting running clock games, the shortest varsity game I've ever commentated in 100+ was 3 years ago, Plainfield at Whiteland. It was over in 1 hour and 54 minutes. That's how fast the Warriors do things. So anyway, when we resume play, it'll be 4th and 2. Whiteland has the ball at the Plainfield 21. The Quakers just took their first time out. Whiteland has not thrown a pass yet, and Whiteland has not thrown a pass yet in this game. And now we got some movement at the line. And if it's against the Quakers, so that it's an automatic first down then.
Man, that's not good. Offsides on Plainfield. Ball down to the 16.
And one thing, last week Franklin, this was a big key in their win. Franklin, no turnovers. So,
snap, pitch, cuts it back, room to run inside the 15, and still going. And they finally whistled it dead at the 10. Boy, that was weird. I guess it's going to end up being a gain of about 6 on first down. It's like the players thought it was dead, and then they kept going.
So they have Slate Valentine there with the second carry of the game. He is a very promising sophomore for the Warriors. 2nd and 4 at the 10 now, 2:20 to go and counting here in the first quarter. Very fast-paced game so far. Now pitch back, and he's inside. I think he's got the first down. That was Peyton Emberton there. Yeah, they're moving the chain, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 4 or 5. And they're putting it at the 5 here.
Snap, pitch, cuts it back, and he is going to walk in for the score. Touchdown, untouched, number 4, Peyton Emberton, and it is now 13-0.
Peyton Emberton, his 8th game of the season, his 8th touchdown of the season. And the Warriors take what wouldn't seem so overwhelming normally, but the way this game has gone so far, it's an overwhelming sounding 13-0 lead with the conversion pending. Mathis was good on his first one. He's 24 of 26 on the year. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:01 to go here in the first quarter, your Plainfield Quakers on Senior Day, possibly, but hopefully not, Coach Woodard's last home game, fall in a 14-0 hold to the Whiteland Warriors, who've won 10 of the last 11 in the series.
14 plays, 71 yards that time for the visiting Whiteland Warriors. It took 7 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah, so that's an incredible. I mean, that's about a seventh of the game right there that they took off on that drive. And, you said 14 plays, 71 yards. That's just over 5 yards a carry. And, that's well above the 3.4 you need. And notably, they had 2 third down conversions on that drive. And then when we had them down to fourth down, we gave them an automatic first down on a penalty. We got to get something going on this drive. We 9 minutes and 59 seconds into this game, we've had 3 offensive plays for 0 net yards. Come on, boys, let's get fired up. Play with the eye of the tiger now. And it's I don't know if it's an onside or squib kick, but we've fallen at about the 31. At least we were ready for it that time. So both Whiteland kickoffs only went about 30 yards. I think they were trying to catch us off guard in both cases. That looked like an onside kick, but it had the distance of a squib.
All right, so the ball's at the 31.
So Martinsville 7, Mooresville 0, they just announced. Martinsville, our opponent next week on the road. Hope to see you all down there.
2 receivers wide to the left. One man to the left, I should say, 2 men to the right. Newell working out of the gun. Snap and a whistle and a timeout Plainfield before the ball is snapped.
So Plainfield in the first quarter has already used 2 of its 3 timeouts. I think Coach Woodard feels this one slipping away. And, I'll tell you that I have mixed feelings about this. This is my 11th season of commentating the Quakers, and I've gotten so accustomed to us playing the same mid-state conference teams in the same order every year. I enjoy that. I wish we had, a softer opponent on week 8, because it means, because we have Whiteland on week 8, every other year it means we lose on Senior Day a lot. I always hate losing on Senior Day. So anyway, the Quakers now first and 10 at their own 31, 1:59 to go in the first quarter, already down 14-0.
2 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Snap, man goes in motion from the left to right. Snap, gives straight ahead. Hessong, big hole. He's up across 35, driving ahead to the 40, very near a first down, and a nice gain on first down, which should be enough for a first down. How many times can I say first down in one paragraph, Lex?
All right. Well, Troy Larson, a much-needed offensive boost for the Quakers. He picks up 11 there. He's had a few games where he did very well. He had a couple where he largely got shut down. Now screen pass complete to Grant Irwin, another senior, and he gets up for about 4 or 5.
Yeah, nice job there up to about the 46-yard line. And it'll bring up second down and about 5 yards for Plainfield, moving from left to right on your computer screen.
Irwin barely played varsity ball until this year. Now he has 4 touchdowns with a shot to play college ball. He hasn't caught a lot of passes, but when he's caught them, he's generally done very well.
Man, 2 men to the right, 1 man to the left. Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, back to pass, over the head of the intended receiver, Irwin, out of bounds on the near side of the field. It'll bring up third down for Plainfield.
So now, I mean, that puts us in a situation where, this is a very, very critical 3rd and 6. And if we don't get this, I would not be surprised if we went for it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time where, even in the first quarter, it's time to go for broke here. So now the Quakers line up. Well, looks like we've got
all sorts of confusion as the play clock is winding down here in Plainfield. Now just
7
now
seconds
getting to the
now,
line
yeah.
of scrimmage. Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, gives straight ahead. Big hole, drives forward, very close to a first down. That was number 2, Noah Hessong. He's going to be about a half-yard short. Got tripped up right as he was approaching the first down marker, and I think Plainfield was going to leave the offense out on the field. Plainfield fans not real happy with that spot. Let's see here on 4th down what the Quakers can pick up. They've got to get a half a yard. Ball's just past the 49. They need the 48. Out of the gun. Noah Hessong, man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, gives straight ahead, and he's got the first down. He's got more all the way down to the 40-yard line. Nice little run off right tackle that time by number 2, Noah Hessong.
All right, good job, Noah. So the crowd finally starting to get into it. 30 seconds to go and counting here in the first quarter. It's been a very fast-paced game so far. Plainfield only 3 plays, between. They only had been on the field 3 plays by the time Whiteland took a 14-0 lead. Now the Quakers getting something going on offense.
2 to the right, 1 man to the left. Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, play action, back to pass. Steps up, he's flushed out right side, throwing on the run, and it is caught. Great catch.
Irwin.
On the near side of the field, right in front of Brian Woodard, in fact. He was cheering not only his player, but the referee on to let him know that he made that catch, and I guess it worked. So a nice gain that time. The very neutral eyes of Brian Woodard sealing the deal that time. Down to the 34, 2nd down and 4 coming up for Plainfield.
So Irwin already with his 2nd catch here on his senior day. Hopefully he'll get some scores here as well. 3.8 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 7:30 your time of day. So 3 receivers to the left now. Hessong, the running back.
Snap back to pass, steps up, has time now throwing a little screen pass, caught, big hole to run, it's Hessong. He's across the 30, all the way down inside the 30, down around the 27-yard line, out of bounds, 1st down and 10 Plainfield, and that will bring about an end to the first quarter. So not a great start for Plainfield, but driving now, hopefully they'll result in points. Let's thank the sponsors who make our broadcast possible, including CCB Contracting, Geodis, Gannell Financial, Julia Burbridge of Remax Centerstone Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield, mortgage lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley Fairway Mortgage, Bailey & Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, My IT Indy at myitindy.com, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. I'm Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn coming to you live tonight from Plainfield High School, where the Plainfield Quakers trail it early against the Whiteland Warriors by a score of 14-0. But the good news for Plainfield is they are driving on their 2nd possession of the game. They are all the way down to the 27, and just a few plays ago picked up a big 4th down conversion that kept that drive going. They've capitalized on it. 1st down and 10 in Plainfield, or in Whiteland territory.
Well, it's good to see him moving the ball after, Whiteland scored easily on their first possession. Then our first possession, we were 3 and out with 0 net yards. And then, Whiteland went on a 7-minute plus drive and scored again. So now I'm glad we finally fired back with some good offense here. Now we got to get the score here, make it a 1-possession game, get right back into it.
1 receiver to the, I guess 2 receivers to the right now. Some confusion over there as 1 man in tight left, single back formation, man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, rolling to the right side is Hessong. Rolling, throwing, got a man open. It is caught and dropped. Oh, goodness. He was open, and unfortunately, the Whiteland defender got in there, had his hands on it. That was number 3 that time, Isaiah Miller, and it'll bring up 2nd down for Plainfield. Unfortunately, incomplete pass.
Isaiah Miller has quietly had a pretty good second half of the season. He's showing a lot of promise, and I think that he's going to do a lot of good things next year as a senior.
So a 2nd down coming up for the Plainfield Quakers.
We got to get some yards here. We got to avoid a 3rd and long.
3 men wide to the right, 1 man in the backfield. Snap, that's a little delay draw. Breaks out of 1 tackle. Nice job. Skarts ahead. Inside the 25, still spinning. Great run that time. I believe that was Noah Hessong, and he was able to get out of the initial wall of Whiteland defenders and pick up 5 yards that time. Great job.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that's 3rd and 5 is a lot better than 3rd and 10.
So big possession coming up for Plainfield. 11:30 left to go in the first half. Plainfield down by 14 early on in this one.
That was a great second effort there by Noah Hessing on his senior day.
Let's see if they don't come back with that again. They've got 3 receivers flanked out to the right side. Let's see if they don't come back with that same play again. Snap. Play action. Caught. It's near a first down. It'll depend on the spot. It is enough for a first down according to the far side of the field official. And a nice job that time. I didn't see who the reception was.
I believe it was Miller.
Okay. Great job. Little quick pitch and catch. And with 11-12 to go in the first half, the ball's down to the 4-16, and Plainfield now really potentially able to make a statement and get back in this ball game.
Yeah, and Newell has completed 5 of his first 7 passes, so he's off to a good start.
Again, Plainfield will work out of the gun. 3 receivers go wide to the right side of the field. As 1 man to the left. Now he'll move his back, Hessling to the right. Snap, the give is to Hessling. Little stretch play to the left side, cuts it back, drives forward, and down to about the 12. You know, Hessling's done a really nice job. Boy, that's a terrible spot. At the 13-ish now, maybe.
Yeah.
He's done a great job when he gets hit. He's moving forward when he gets hit. He's instead of moving sideways, so even though they take him down, he's falling forward, so he picked up 3 that time on the run.
All right, we're in the red zone. We folded in the red zone 3 times last week. Got to do better tonight.
Out of the gun, snap, play action, throws, got a man. It's caught inside the 5, down around the 2, and I believe that was number 10, Grant Irwin.
All right, so Grant Irwin already with 3 catches on his senior day.
You know, not only is this a sustained drive, and again, this is based on it ending in points, but it's a long drive in terms of time-wise, Leck, which has kept that Whiteland offense off the field. Now quickly, that bunch formation, and the give straight ahead is to Hessling. He dives, and he should be in. No signal yet. Oh, that looked really good, and they didn't give it to him.
Oh, man.
Right at the goal line in that bunch formation. Man, that looked really good that time.
Yeah, so now we just got to, got 3 plays. We just got to hammer it in.
Bunch formation again. And now a whistle and a stoppage of play, and I'm not sure what the stoppage of play is about. Of course, there are no replays in high school football. Man, that looked really good. It looked like he was in the end zone. I don't know if they called a knee down.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see from the referee's point of view.
All right, now in that bunch formation, again, everybody in tight, right down under center. Snap, quarterback sneak, that's in. And
yes.
That's in. I can only see the official on the far side of the field. Quarterback sneak that time by number 2, Hunter Newell. And Hunter Newell picks up that the first touchdown of the game for Plainfield with 9:20 to go. I can only see that official on the far side of the field from where we're at, and he didn't put his hands up. And I thought, what is he looking at that time?
Yeah, I know. So, fortunately, we did get it. Boy, did we ever need it. And it's not just the touchdown, but I'm just really pleased with the drive in general. It was just a great all-around drive. And now Cameron Grimes on the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Yeah. All right, boy, did he need that.
Yeah, right down the middle that time, and Plainfield responds. So with 9:20 to go in the first half, the Plainfield cuts the Whiteland lead in half on senior night by a score of 14-7.
Yeah, and Cameron Grimes, he was 16 for 16 to start the year. Then he missed those 2 in the second half against Decatur Central that, were part of the reason the game went into overtime. Then last week he was 0 for 2 at Franklin. I'm thinking, my God, this guy just needs to hit one to get that out of his head, So finally he did there, thankfully.
14 plays, 69 yards, 440 on the drive. Our old buddy Mr. Sherman sending us the stats. What a great guy. Jeff Sherman helps us out all the home games here at Plainfield, and he's one of the best statisticians in all the land, and we thank him for his help at every Plainfield home game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And by the way, that was a team high tying 5th rushing touchdown of the season by Hunter Newell. Noah Hessing also has 5. Antonio Williams is close behind with 4.
So Plainfield cuts it in half. By the way, thanks everybody listening on. If you're up there on the YouTube feed, hit the like button. That little thumbs up arrow you see on there helps us out. We appreciate it. Of course, we'll have the Brian Woodard Show coming your way. We usually have those up on Sunday, even though it says Monday on the broadcast page. We usually have them up on Sunday. And here we go. Getting ready to put the foot into it. It's a onside kick. It's a live ball. And let's see who got it back. No signal yet. Whiteland got it back. Darn it. It hit a Whiteland player. Looked like a live ball. But Plainfield came out of there with the ball. Plainfield's got the ball.
Man, I wish we could. That's one of those plays I wish we could see a replay because it was on the far side of the field.
What is going on here? Plainfield definitely came out of there with the ball.
Well,
I don't know what they're talking about here. A Plainfield player walked out of there with the ball and handed it to the ref. I don't know if they're saying, so this is 2 in a row that I'm very befuddled about here because he walked out of there with the ball and handed it to the ref, but I guess they're going to say it's Whiteland ball, so great field position for Whiteland. Good try by Plainfield. Good call by Brian Woodard.
I agree, yeah.
And first down and 10. Pitch to the far side of the field, cuts it back. Big hole, drives ahead, down inside the 45, down about the 42. That was number 20. It looks like 21 that time. Is that right?
Yeah,
20.
Slate Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine. So first down of 8 yards on the play. I would love to know what happened there, Leck, on that onside kick, because that guy in red walked out there with the ball and handed it to the ref.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I wish, we had the benefit of replay. Maybe someday we will. So now one receiver to each side. Now finally the first pass of the game, and it is caught, and he's got a first down. Breaks a tackle, past the 30, 25, and he's knocked out a bouncer on the 24.
Yeah, they caught everybody off guard that time. The little lefty throw by the quarterback, and the man was wide open, and then did get past an initial open field tackle by Plainfield. So all that effort to go all the way down the field, and in just 2 plays, Whiteland all the way down now to the Plainfield 23-yard line.
So the Brady Sandifer, with his first reception of the game, on the first pass of the game, it goes for 20 yards.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, is it just puts a lot of pressure on your corners to make great open field tackles when there's and now they got like 3 guys moving at the same time. And they're going to call an offsides again on Plainfield?
Oh, man, we got to cut down on these penalties. But I'll tell you, with the okay, so now it's 1st and 5 at the 18, so the Warriors in the red zone. We got to get a stop here.
Yeah, this is just a really bad performance so far by Plainfield's defense.
Well, we are up against a mammoth of an opponent, but
first and 5. Man goes in motion from right to left. Snap, give is straight ahead. He is swallowed up, but driving forward. Some of his offensive linemen pushing behind him down to about the 15, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 1. That
was Emberton there. Who had a touchdown earlier in the game, just in the last quarter. So it'll bring 2nd and 1 for the Warriors at the 15. And yeah, Rob, I like the onside kick call because I think we might have to take a possession away from Whiteland to have a shot to win here. I mean, they're that good. Keep in mind they were 2 weeks ago ranked number 1 in our class, now the number 3.
Snap, pitch to the near side, cuts it back, big hole, and a shoestring tackle that time inside the 10, saves a touchdown as Valentine again. And Plainfield man is just getting beat off the ball, and Whiteland's players, their backfield is so quick that they are able to just move in big chunks. You're right, like you need something super positive to happen on defense right here, a takeaway of some sort.
And keep in mind, we do get the ball first to start the second half, so if we can get this stop here, that'll be...
Snap, pitch, cuts it back, drives forward. A couple of Quakers get him by the ankles and take him down at the 5, so a short gain that time by Whiteland. Yeah, Valentine, and it'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. And the other thing about Whiteland, I have no idea how they're doing this without committing a penalty. It's great discipline. I have all those guys moving at the same time. That's impressive.
That's a Darren Fisher coach team for you right there. Darren Fisher, one of the most underrated head coaches in Indiana high school football. He's a living legend.
All right, so 1 man in the backfield. Man goes in motion from right to left. Snap. There's the end around. Cuts it back. He's hit. Driven down at about the 4, maybe the 3. So a third down now coming up for the Whiteland Warriors. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line.
We got to stop them here.
Well, if you're playing field here, you know they're not running any deep routes. So maybe you stick an extra guy way up there, and somebody's just got to guess right and make a great play.
Yeah, like we had a great stop at the goal line to win the Martinsville game last year by 1 point on our senior day, our only win in our last 5 games last year.
All sorts of movement here as now Whiteland sets down under center, snap, pitch, cutting it to the far side, and he gets the corner, gets the pylon, and is in for the score. Number 32 that time, Crowley with the run and the touchdown with 5:31 left to go in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes you're just up against an overwhelming opponent, and keep in mind, Whiteland is better than anybody in our sectional. We're still going to have a decent shot to win that sectional regardless of what happens today, but I want us to at least be very competitive and give a tough fight here, as Mathis on the extra point is good.
So Plainfield now trails at 21-7 with 5:31 left to go in the first quarter. That time it was a 7-play, 51-yard drive, took 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
Thanks to Mr. Sherman again. And I'll tell you, if we got 5:31 to go here in the quarter, 7:44 your time of day, and if we get a touchdown to make it 21-14 heading into the locker room, then we get the ball first to start the second half, we'll have a chance to tie or take the lead with a touchdown and a 2. And knowing Coach Woodard as well as I do, it wouldn't surprise me if he did go for the 2, but we shall see. So the Warriors get ready to kick off. Both of their first 2 kickoffs were short. We'll see what they do here. I have a feeling they're going to kick deep this time after, especially after we went for that onside kick last time. And Rob and I thought we might have had it, but the referee ruled otherwise. So your score now, Whiteland 21, Plainfield 7. We're here at Plainfield on our senior day, game 8 out of 9 in the regular season. We close out the regular season at Martinsville next week. That should be a very good game. Martinsville currently ranked number 8 in Class 4A.
And we are about to kick it away from the 40-yard line. Plainfield will get it, and they'll move from right to left on your computer screen. It's the foot into it. It's a short spiraling kick. Take it now, end over end kick, I should say. Take it at the 10 to the 15 to the 20. 25, room to run, up across the 30. 35, turns the corner. Yes! 45, still going. Inside the 40 and taken down deep in the Whiteland territory. Down about the 38-yard line. Number 5 that time, Harrison Herbeck with the return.
All right, that's the kind of play we needed. Now we got great field position, boys. Let's take advantage of it. We got to take advantage of this.
So great play that time. Wonderful bounce back by Plainfield. Herbeck took it just at about the 10-yard line. That ball was spiraling, or not spiraling, but moving end over end towards the left like a hook, and he caught it and then brought it all the way back to the near side of the field, and he had a phenomenal return that time into Whiteland territory. All right, first down and 10 coming up from the 37-yard line. Hunter Newell working out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Man goes in motion from right to left. Snap, there's the give, straight ahead. A little bit of a hole there, and driving forward down inside the 35, down around the 33-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards on first down that time. It was number 16, Troy Larson.
Yeah, Troy Larson, his only year of varsity football. He was a track and field star last year, and you can tell his track and field background through his explosive speed there.
2 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Man working out of the shotgun. Snap, play action, rolling right side. Got a man wide open, caught, big hole. He's inside the 25, inside the 20, barreling ahead down around the 17-yard line. On the far side of the field, number 3, Isaiah Miller.
All right, that's a pickup of about 15, so we're in the red zone again. 4:44 to go. We've got plenty of time. They give him credit for 14 on that one.
So now Plainfield with 4:33 left to go in the first half, driving inside the 20, and they'll have a fresh set of downs from the 19-yard line. Newell working out of the shotgun. Snap back to pass. Steps up. Now flushed out. Rolling right side. Rolling. He's going to throw it away. Out of bounds. Incomplete. And it'll bring up second down.
Newell still has completed 7 of 10 passes on this game by my count. And I'll tell you, as the season has gone on, he's gotten better at getting rid of the ball. So good job right there.
Yeah, it was an odd thing. All his receivers were lined to the left, and he rolled to the right for some reason.
Maybe he thought he'd get some rushing room, just a guess. But anyway, 2nd and 10 at the 18 for the Quakers.
Yep, second down for Plainfield. As you said, Leck, 2 receivers to the right, or to the left, rather. 1 man to the right. Working out of the gun. Man goes in motion from right to left. Snap, gives straight ahead. Big hole again. Inside the 15, inside the 10, all the way down to about the 7-yard line. That should be enough for another Plainfield first down.
So Noah Hessing, making his mark on senior day. And yes, it'll be 1st and goal there at the 7, 11 yards there by Noah Hessing. So, Plainfield, doing fairly well with rushing today. I have Hessing 7 for 35, Larson 2 for 16.
Pass, flushed out right side, quarterback keeper, breaks 1 tackle, and now goes down back at the 15. The one thing you couldn't have happen right there did happen, a sack all the way back at the 15. They'll put it at the 14, so a loss of about 4 yards that time on first down, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up from the 14-yard line. That is the one thing. I'm surprised they went away from the run right there, Leck. They've run the ball very well.
Yeah, Newell just needed to get rid of it there, so hopefully we'll get those yards back. 3:25 to go and counting here in the second quarter. Whiteland 21, Plainfield 7. The Quakers in the red zone for the second consecutive possession. 2nd and goal now at the 14.
Newell working out of the gun. Snap, quick drop, throws, got a man caught. It's inside the 10, drives forward down to about the 7-yard line. So he gets back what they lost there on first down. Back to that initial line of scrimmage. And now 3rd down coming up. You got basically 2 plays here. Field goal really doesn't do you any good at this point, especially the way that the Whiteland offense has scored so far. And with 2:45 to go, you've got to think you got 2 plays to get it in the end zone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, one of those little draw plays, their trap plays, it works so well so far. Maybe you go with that here. 3rd down coming up. 1 man to the right. Snap, back to pass, steps up, throws, incomplete.
Not sure who he was going for there.
Yeah, somebody ran a wrong route. And again, just I like the way they were running the football down there.
So sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, got to get it in here. 2:25 left to go in the first half. Plainfield trailing it by 14. They've got the ball at the Whiteland 7.
We started the drive at the Whiteland. Yeah, we started the drive at the Whiteland 37 after that great. And I think we just took our last time out. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Brian Woodard wants to get the play right here. Again, I'm Rob Kendall. He's Lex Zorn coming to you from Plainfield High School tonight. Senior night at Plainfield. Quakers with a record of 3-4 against the Whiteland Warriors with a record of 6-1. And Plainfield finding out why Whiteland is 6-1 thus far, as Whiteland scored every time they've had the ball so far. They lead it 21-7 with 2:25 left to go here in the second quarter. There's all sorts of space there, Leck, to the right side of the field.
Yeah.
And the ball's, well, I guess it's about equal. I guess we're just on the near side, but it looks like there's a lot of space out there. And you would think, man, is there some sort of misdirection or something? Whatever play you've got down here that you haven't run yet, that they don't know, now would be an opportune time to do that, because you've got to do everything possible to get into the end zone, as well as Whiteland has scored so far.
So 2 receivers to each side now. I believe it's Larson in there at running back now, or is it Hessing?
Out of the gun, Newell. Snap, back to pass, has time, throw into the corner. It is caught!
Yes! Yes, Isaiah Miller. All right.
Great play that time, got one-on-one coverage. Great pass, literally a perfect pass from Hunter Newell as Isaiah Miller catching the ball up over his head, two hands, as he was able to get the foot in as he went out of bounds.
My son's starting to know my commentary very well. He said the Quakers are in business. So.
Yeah, that's right. We love Liam.
Yes.
We love Liam.
And I'll tell you, Liam, also, he did a great job. He spotted the pizza being brought up to the press box a little while ago. So now Grimes trying to make it 2 for 2 for the game on extra points.
Snap is low, spot is down, kick is up, and it is good.
All right.
2:20 to go. Plainfield responds. And once again, we've got a ball game, 21-14, with 2:20 left to go. And I'll tell you what, like, going into this locker room down 7 would feel so much different than being down 14. This is where the Plainfield defense has really got to stand tall.
Yes, and remember, we get the ball first to start the second half. So we're right in this. We just got to, make sure they don't get any points here on this drive. So I assume we'll have a deep kick. We had a touchback to start off the game. Now might be a good time for that again. But yeah, it was a 7-yard touchdown pass from Newell to Isaiah Miller. I wasn't sure he'd be able to get the catch and get a foot down in bounds, but he did.
Yeah, what a play, as you said, Leck. Just a tremendous job of going there and getting that foot down as Isaiah Miller making it happen.
And, of course, it was set up by that kickoff return from Harrison Herbeck. He brought it up to the Whiteland 37. Certainly Herbeck, Herbeck also playing on his senior day, coming up with the highlight there.
So Plainfield now will kick it away as they trail it now by 7 with 2:20 left to go in the first half. And here we go. It's onside kick again, live ball, out of bounds, and it'll again be great field position for Whiteland.
And keep in mind the Warriors have all 3 timeouts, so that that helps them a lot because this little time left, when you have all 3 timeouts, it enables you to work the whole field rather than having to think about getting near the sidelines.
What are we doing here? For some reason, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Plainfield.
Oh, maybe they're doing a re-kick.
I don't know why they would re-kick it unless Whiteland doesn't have the option to decline it. Offsides was the call on Plainfield.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's Whiteland's theory that because now that'll move the ball back to the 35. Maybe they say, well, go ahead and try to onside kick it again, and we'll get better field position. I don't know. That's weird.
I think we got to kick deep here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. There's only one man back there. If there's a way you could get it over his head or get it on the ground, like a line drive kick or something. There's nobody back there. They clearly think it's going to be another onside kick, and it is another squib kick, and it is fielded. And I don't understand that. You're giving them great field position
with all 3 timeouts. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but
now that really puts super pressure on this defense. We got to come up with a stop here, which is something we have not done all game.
I mean, it just kind of tells you maybe Brian Woodard doesn't have any confidence in the defense right now.
That could be, and.
Well, all right, you got to step up here because it is what it is, and the ball's at the 49-yard line of Whiteland. Snap, middle misdirection, into round, and he's going to run forever. He's inside the 45, inside the 40, still going, missed tackle, another missed tackle, inside the 20, all the way down to about the 15-yard line, and it's just like they fell asleep over there. I mean, they just keep running basically the same play.
Who was that for Whiteland?
And it was wide open that time.
Who was the ball carrier there?
I didn't at the 13 maybe. Is there 13 on the roster? Yeah, Nearest Moore Smith, I think.
Yes, that's him. Yeah.
So anyway, it's first down and 10 now for Whiteland, all the way down to about the 15-yard line. Guess they'll put it just outside there. Actually, they put it way back there after where he went out of bounds at about the 17. Snap, pitch to the far side, and he turns the corner down inside the 15. They'll put him out at about the 13.
Valentine,
so another gain of about 4 yards. And it's like there's no contain on that end. And I I'm trying to kind of watch the play and see how that happens because it seems like every time they're getting that corner. Snap, pitch, cuts it back, center of the field, inside the 10, down around the 5. It's enough for another first down. So in less than a minute, and keep in mind Plainfield has no timeouts left, so Whiteland may decide here just to milk a whole bunch of clock.
And they have all 3, but I think they're going to try to leave as little time as possible.
Because obviously time doesn't bother them at all. They'll definitely be able to run 4 plays with those 3 timeouts if indeed they need to do that. Working out of the under center now. Snap, pitch, cuts it back, drives forward, and in for the score with 47.5 seconds to go. Whiteland responds right away, that time scoring in under 2 minutes, and it is now a 27-14 affair.
Did you see you got the score?
Didn't. There was a host of bodies down there on that one.
Who got the score there?
Okay. All right, that was Emberton then. It's his second touchdown of the game.
On to attempt the extra point here. Snap, spot. The kick is up. The kick is good. And so Whiteland extends the lead, 28-14.
Boy, that is absolutely devastating. And, Rob, I think you definitely, maybe the first question for Coach Woodard, other than, how are you, is, his kickoff thinking there after we had cut it to 7. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't know. But yeah, that was certainly a disappointment there. To take away the momentum that we built after that great touchdown drive where we cut the lead to 7 with 2:20 to go, and all we had to do was hold them off the scoreboard for 2:20. And then, we'd get the ball for start the second half with a chance to tie or take the lead. So I don't understand that kickoff strategy at all, unless, Rob, maybe he really doesn't have any confidence in the defense. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to ask about because, it's one thing to do it if they're not expecting it, but it's another thing to do it when they know it's coming.
Yeah, when you've already done it twice in the game, yeah.
Yeah, they did it another time there and it went out of bounds, so there's the kick. It's a line drive kick. It'll bounce. It'll be taken at the 15 to the 20 to the 21, and that's as far as it goes. And as that time it was number 16 for Plainfield.
Larson.
Yeah, Larson with the return. So we'll see what Plainfield does here. 41.7 seconds to go in the first half. It's a tall ask to get down the field with no timeouts, but you almost got to try here, Leck, because the dominance of this offense from Whiteland so far.
Yeah, at least take a shot downfield, maybe throw a 20, 30-yard pass. So they got 2 receivers to each side, so apparently they're going to try something here. 41.7 seconds to go. Let's get something, boys.
Snap, back to pass, has time, throws, caught up at the 30 and pushed out of bounds.
That was Vanderbush there.
Yeah, nice job. First time we've called his name for Caden Vanderbush, the junior, tonight. And up to about the 31, so they will say it was enough for a first down. Does get out of bounds. And again, why not? Might as well give it a shot. Normally a game, it's closer. You might say, well, just take a knee and go into the locker room. But here I think, again, given the propensity of scoring from Whiteland, they said we got to, even if there's long odds, take a crack at it. Maybe somebody falls down. Maybe there's a hook and ladder. Maybe there's a whatever.
Yeah, you could do something, yeah. We just can't, because the defense has done nothing to show that we can stop them.
Rolls right side. Rolso's got a man wide open. Big hole across the 40. Turns the corner. Out of bounds. Great job to not only get the first down, but get out of bounds. That was Isaiah Miller on the far side of the field. He is playing a great game so far tonight. And it is now a first down and 10. 29 seconds to go. Ball was out of bounds up to the 47-yard line.
So 16-yard pickup there. I have Isaiah Miller 5 for 50 and a touchdown now.
Yeah, if you can get it to where you can even maybe realistically get a shot at the end zone here, then that's a very productive drive for Plainfield.
And they've used the clock very effectively. 2 first downs, both times getting out of bounds.
Yep, working out of the gun now. Hunter Newell, snap back to pass, steps up, looking, flushed out. He's rolling right side, throwing on the run, out of bounds, and incomplete.
I have Newell 11 for 16, 94 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. Not counting 2 Hail Marys, he has not thrown an interception now in 5 consecutive games after throwing 7 through the first 3. He's shown a lot of improvement down the stretch, and I think he's going to have a very big senior season next year that's going to give him a chance to get a college scholarship.
So the ball sitting at the 47. Plainfield will get the ball to begin the second half. Out of the gun, snap. Rolling, left side, rolling. Nowhere to go. Throws it up, and it is tipped up and nearly caught off the hands of the intended receiver, number 10, Grant Irwin. Well, now you got to be careful here, Leck, because they've scored so much that there's still 16.7 seconds left to go. It is probably 3 down territory here, because if you don't get it, then you got to kick it, because there's a decent chance they'll get a crack at the end zone from where they're at on the field. So this really is a big play.
Yes, it is. We got to at least get a first down here and, put ourselves in a position where we can, take a shot at the end zone on the last play.
3 receivers going wide to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Snap back to pass. Steps up now, a little draw play, and Whiteland was ready for that, and he will spin forward now. They called him down. The ball was fumbled, but the official ruled him down, and I believe that'll be the final play of the third quarter. The second quarter, I should say.
Who was that?
16, I believe, was the runner.
Larson.
Yeah. So that will indeed bring about the end of the first half. An eventful one. 42 points went on the board. Unfortunately for Plainfield fans, 28 of them went for the visiting Whiteland Warriors. So we will take a break. Well, I'll take a break. Leck will have the halftime show, and we will be back with the second half here on Audio Sports Online.
Well, anyway, let's take a look here. First of all, we only got 20 minutes, so I guess they're going to have a really big halftime show tonight. And so it's been a wild and woolly game so far, in which your Quakers have generally played well on offense, but they've had no answers whatsoever to Whiteland's outstanding all-world rushing offense. Whiteland got the ball first. The opening kickoff by Plainfield went into the end zone for a touchback. And then on the Warriors' first possession, Malik Perkins scored on a 50. With 10:32 to go in the first quarter, Malik Perkins scored on a 57-yard touchdown rush. David Mathis was good on the extra point, making it 7-0. Then after Plainfield went 3 and out on its first drive, Peyton Emberton scored on a 5-yard rush with 2:01 to go in the first quarter. Mathis's extra point made it 14-0. Plainfield then was composed on its ensuing drive and scored on a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Hunter Newell with 9:20 to go here in the second quarter. Cameron Grimes broke a 4 in a row missed extra point streak and made the score 14-7. However, Whiteland struck back quickly on its ensuing drive, scoring on a 3-yard touchdown rush by Jonathan Crowley with 5:31 to go. Mathis was good on the extra point, making it 21-7. However, Harrison Herbeck returned the ensuing kickoff all the way down to the Whiteland 37, and then on 4th and goal at the 7, Hunter Newell passed 7 yards to Isaiah Miller for a touchdown. Grimes was again good on the extra point, making it 21-14. However, in a very odd turn of events, Plainfield went for an onside kick on the ensuing kickoff, and then an offsides penalty forced them to re-kick, and curiously they did go for an onside kick again. Whiteland recovered just barely in their own territory at the 49, and then with 47.5 seconds to go in the half, Peyton Emberton scored again, this time on a 6-yard rush, and Mathis's extra point made it 28-14. And then on Plainfield's ensuing drive, they did get 2 first downs, advanced to the to their own 47. However, then on 3rd and 10, they tried to catch Whiteland off guard, with a rush by Troy Larson, but he gained only 1 yard, bringing us to the end of the half. And your score again, Whiteland 28, Plainfield 14. A look at the individual statistics. First of all, for Plainfield, Hunter Newell has completed 11 of 17 passes for 93 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. He's thrown passes. He's thrown completions to 4 different receivers, led by junior Isaiah Miller, who has 5 receptions for 50 yards and a touchdown. In addition, Grant Irwin, playing on his senior day, has 3 receptions for 31 yards. Noah Hessing, playing on his senior day, has 2 for 12, and Caden Vanderbush has 1 for 10. On the ground, Noah Hessing has rushed 7 times for 35 yards. Troy Larson on his senior day, 3 for 17, and Hunter Newell, 3 for -11 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, for Whiteland, Kevin Denham has thrown only 1 pass. It was complete for 20 yards. Brady Stanifer had that reception for 20 yards. That's the only receiving statistic to report for Whiteland. They've mainly just rushed on the ground. They've mainly just rushed, and have done so extremely effectively. Peyton Emberton has rushed 9 times for 36 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Crowley, 6 for 37 and 1 touchdown. Nereus Moore-Smith, 2 rushes for 40 yards. Malik Perkins, 5 for 76 and a touchdown. And Slate Valentine, 6 for 31. So basically, for Plainfield to get back into this game, they're going to have to make a stop, first of all. Basically, Whiteland has 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. They've consistently gotten far above the 3.4 yards a carry that you need. So Plainfield's going to have some kind of answer for the passing, for the rushing offense. And I think now that we've gone for 3 onside kicks, I don't think that we're going to be able to catch Whiteland off guard. So we might as well just kick deep the rest of the game, unless we're trying to unless it's a desperate situation and we need it, simply to get the ball back if it's late in the game and we're down by a score or something like that. But as a general practice, I don't think we should do any more onside kicks. We're just going to have the defense is just going to have to do something, and then our offense, unfortunately, is probably going to have to get a touchdown on every possession and hope that's enough, which it might not be. But anyway, right now, let's take a look ahead to the playoffs, which start 3 weeks from tonight. Now, Plainfield is in a 4-team sectional this year, and they've got good, good competition, but not the outstanding competition that they've had for most of their time in Class 5A. This is their 8th year in Class 5A. This is the most winnable sectional they've had since then. They've only won 1 playoff game since they've been in Class 5A. That was in 2016 when they won down at Arsenal Tech in the first round, and then came home and lost 33-28 to Zionsville in the sectional championship when Ben Slayton threw a pass into the end zone into a crowd of people, and after it was probably about 5 seconds, it seemed like a lot longer, the referee ruled it incomplete. And what made it even more painful for me is that Gavin Ritter was injured on that possession, the great then senior wide receiver, and had to watch that last play painfully from the sideline. But anyway, back to 2022, the highest ranked team in our sectional is a familiar one, the Harrison Raiders, who we visited back in week 2. They beat us 22-14. It was a game that went down to the last play. We had a chance to tie in the last play, but a Hail Mary was intercepted. And so, anyway, Harrison is currently 6-1 and ranked number 6 in our class. However, they've played a very weak schedule. They're in the North Central Conference, so they have not been playing very good competition the last several weeks. and so their record is inflated. And I think if we play them, and they're coming off several. We're really about a month and a half or 2 months where they've just been playing cupcakes or near cupcakes, then I think that, that could play into our favor because we've been playing good teams every week. After the weak portion of our schedule, Perry, Meridian, and Greenwood, we played Decatur Central, who currently is not ranked but has been ranked for much of the year. And then, of course, Harrison, we played them back in week 2. And then Whiteland ranked number 3 in our class tonight. And next week we're going to play Martinsville, who's ranked number 8 in Class 4A. Last week we played Franklin, who currently is ranked number 8 in our class. So, and I think that reminds me of 2014 when in the second round of the sectional we played Northview. We were 2-7 in the regular season. They were 7-2, but all 7 of their wins had come against lower division teams, and they clearly were not prepared for us that night, and we rolled to a fairly easy 28-13 win in a game that I commentated. And then next week came back and nearly took down Roncalli. We lost 24-17 in the sectional championship game. So Harrison, they've been playing fairly weak competition since the game against us. And we've been playing much greater competition, and we've generally improved since then, and we only lost by 8 then, so certainly we would have a chance to beat them if we played them again. Then also Decatur Central is in our sectional. They're 3-4. Their weakest team in over a decade. We beat them 2 weeks ago, ending a 13-game losing streak to them, so certainly we could beat them again. And the other team in our sectional is McCutcheon, who is 1-6 with their only win coming against Muncie Central. And by the way, when Harrison played McCutcheon back in week 4, Harrison won by a score of 38-3. So what we got to hope for here is it's our best chance to win the sectional. We draw McCutcheon in the first round, which would be an almost guaranteed win. I mean, you want to take the game seriously and execute well, but we would go in that game with a 95+% chance of winning, and then we hope that Harrison and Decatur Central beat up on each other a lot, and then we play the winner of that game, and that means that basically I think that this is a 3-team, it's a sectional where 3 teams have a good chance to win. 3 teams have roughly an equal chance to win. And so, obviously, the odds are more in our favor if we only have to play 1 rather than 2 of those teams. We could beat Harrison and Decatur Central in back-to-back weeks, but it's not as good a chance. So, hopefully, we'll get McCutcheon in the first round and then play a team that we got about a 50-50 chance to beat for the sectional championship. And by the way, none of the teams in our sectional are anywhere near as good as Whiteland. So even if we lose tonight, I mean, don't think that we can't win the sectional. We can. So just let's try to stay focused. Right now, we got to stay focused on the second half of this game, of course. But during the halftime, I just want to talk more about the sectional. And what I really hope is that we get the draw at McCutcheon for week 1. That is, we visit McCutcheon up in Lafayette. And hear me out. I mean, obviously, if they give us, McCutcheon here at Plainfield in the first round, we'll take it, and we'll come out and support the Quakers. But the reason why I want us to play at McCutcheon in the first round is it would still be an easy win, and that would increase the chance that we would have a home playoff game for the sectional championship. And if I had to choose between, playing a home game, in the first round and or the second round, which is for the sectional championship, I would choose for the sectional championship, especially for Coach Woodard. If he is to get that elusive sectional championship, I would prefer that it be at home. I think that would be a sweet victory for him 3 weeks from tonight. Well, for the sectional championship would be 4 weeks from tonight. So anyway, that's what I'm hoping for, and what happens. We will get some idea on Sunday, less than 48 hours away. Sunday at 5 p.m. The IHSAA will have its annual tournament selection show. it will air on their website. That's ihsaatv.org. That's ihsaatv.org. They will be announcing all of the sectional pairings for all 6 classes. You can watch it live, and if you miss it live, no problem. You can catch it on archive, so watch it anytime. I'm going to try to watch it live. We'll see if I make it or not. I got some other stuff going on that day. In fact, I have actually a film shoot, or a web series that I'm doing that day. And then I'm going to try to visit my mother, who's ailing right now as well. So anyway, but we will find out who we will be playing in the first round and where, and then we'll be finding out, who the other side of the bracket is, the two teams who we would potentially play for the sectional championship if we win the first game. So hopefully we will get the win. No guarantees, but we have a shot. We have the best shot to win a sectional this year that we have ever since we've been in 5A. So we got to take advantage of it and give Coach Woodard that great send-off. And truth be told, we're not playing badly today. We just have no answers for their awesome defense. And, none of the teams in our sectional have we have no answers for their outstanding rushing offense. And, none of the other 3 teams in our sectional have anywhere near this kind of rushing offense. Decatur Central has in some past years, but not this year, as we saw when we beat them 2 weeks ago in dramatic fashion. But anyway, right now let's take a little break from that and look at what the other 5 Hendricks County teams are up to right now. Starting in Class 6A, Brownsburg holds at number 1 this week after last week's awesome 50-3 win over Zionsville. The Bulldogs are now 7-0, 2 games away from a perfect regular season. And tonight they're likely to move to 8-0 as they play 2-5 Noblesville, who's been the doormat of the Hoosier Crossroads Conference ever since the 3 Tippecanoe County schools left at the end of the 2013 season. Meanwhile, also in Class 6A, Avon is at the other end of the spectrum. They're now 0-7 following last year's 1-9 season. Hard to believe that they won regionals in 2015 and 2017 and then had an undefeated regular season back in 2019. Finishing at number 1 in the AP poll the last 8 weeks. And it was like their first-round playoff loss to Brownsburg that year, that devastating loss that Rob and I called, was like the beginning of the downfall of the program. They dropped to 5-5 the next year, and now 1-9 last year, looking at a similar record this year. 0-7, although they have been playing better lately. They gave a tough fight last week to Westfield, who's currently ranked number 10, losing 35-21. The week before that, Avon lost only 21-17 to Fishers, another top 10 team. Tonight, Avon plays 4-3 Zionsville, the team that Brownsburg beat 50-3 last week. Then in Class 3A, Tri-West holds at number 10 after beating North Montgomery 40-8 last week. Tonight, the Bruins are likely to get another win as they play 2-5 Crawfordsville, the Athenians. Also in Class 3A, Danville improved to 3-4 last week after an easy 53-17 win over the Frankfurt Hot Dogs. I love saying that name. And tonight, Danville will try to even its record at 500, but it will be tough because they're up against the 8th-ranked team in Class 3A, the Western Boone Stars, who not only enter the game with a record of 6-1, but who have won state championships in 3 of the last 4 years. Back in 2018 and 2019, they won the Class 2A championship, then moved up to Class 3A, and won the championship in that class that year. So a heck of a program out there in the lovely community of Thorntown. They're in Boone County. And finally, in Class 2A, Cascade dropped to 3-4 last week with a 34-28 overtime loss to the Speedway Sparkplugs, another name that I love to say. That was Cascade Senior Day. Tonight, they go on the road and have a good chance to move back to 500 as they play the 2-5 Monrovia Bulldogs. Monrovia really was a superpower in the mid-2010s, but then a couple of head coaching changes, and they just have not come close to getting back on track. They won the Class 2A state championship in 2015, and then got to the semi-state in 2014 and 2016. So hopefully that program will bounce back. That's a lovely community there, just about, I guess, 15, 20 miles southwest of Indianapolis. Hometown, by the way, of former IU basketball coach Branch McCracken, who I always cite as one of the most underrated basketball figures in Indiana history. He led the Hoosiers to the 1940 and 1953 national championships. Unfortunately, has long been lost in the enormous shadow of Bob Knight. So now they've got the clock paused with 3 minutes to go here on the halftime clock. You know, it's ironic. Rob pointed out a few weeks ago, and I'd noticed it over the years but never questioned it, although it should have, because it's a very odd trend, that very often they'll run the clock down from 15 minutes to 0 and then put another 3 minutes on the clock. But today they started off with 20 minutes, and now they've run it down to 3, and they've paused it while we're getting the marching band show. You know, I was not good enough to play sports when I was growing up at my high school, Madison. But, you know, I was talented enough to be in the marching band. I come from a musical I come from both a musical and athletic family, but more of a musical family. I have a couple of highly achieving athletes in my family. But anyway, I was in the marching band. I played the mellophone, and then I played the French horn in the concert band. And we had about a 70-member marching band. And I remember when we would go to the competitions, I would always be, you know, impressed with the really large bands, like the, you know, 100, 150 member bands that had a whole bunch of props. And it doesn't look like Plainfield has a huge, I don't know that this is their entire, you know, band here that's playing, but, you know, it's not that many horn players, but they have a lot of props here, very impressive. I don't recognize the song they're playing, but I like it. And then they got a lot of sideline performers. Got a lot of xylophonists, and then let's see, it looks like a bass guitarist and a keyboardist. And then some guy who's playing, actually, it looks like we got a couple of guys playing assorted percussion. And so anyway, it's a really impressive show. So good luck to the Marching Quakers in their competitions. And But anyway, yeah, and the clock is still stopped at 3 minutes, by the way. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the selection show. Again, this Sunday at 5 p.m. at the IHSAA website, ihsaatv.org. That's ihsaatv.org. And also, don't forget that even though I've been focusing so much on the playoffs and on this game, we still have one more regular season game left after today. 1 week from tonight, Plainfield will close out the regular season for their last tune-up for the playoffs. They will be playing the Martinsville Artesians, who are currently the 8th-ranked team in Class 4A. Martinsville not only has a record of 6-1, but believe it or not, they beat the team that we're playing right now. 2 weeks ago, they beat 2 weeks ago, they beat Whiteland 35-21. I'd like to know what they did to win that one. But anyway, Martinsville's only loss was to Decatur Central 17-14 back in week 4. They beat Bedford North Lawrence 28-14, Bloomington South 27-14, Greenwood 28-14. Then, like I said, lost to Decatur Central 17-14. Then they beat Franklin 27-26, beat Whiteland 35-21, and then beat Perry Meridian 27-10. So against common opponents, we did better against Greenwood. We beat them by 29. Martinsville only beat them by 14. We beat Decatur Central by 2 in overtime. Martinsville beat them by 3, so about the same. No, I'm sorry, excuse me, Decatur Central beat Martinsville, so, you know, we beat Decatur Central, who beat Martinsville, so we did better against Decatur Central than Martinsville did. However, Martinsville beat Franklin 27-26. Franklin beat us last week, or more likely we beat ourselves 35-12. You know, those 3 turnovers that we committed killed us. Then they beat Whiteland. Like I said, Martinsville beat Whiteland 35-21. Right now, Whiteland's beating us 28-14, and then finally, Martinsville beat Perry Meridian 27-10. We beat Perry Meridian 28-14. So Martinsville beat Perry Meridian by 3 more points than we did. But again, that scoring margin was misleading against Perry Meridian because we were up 28-0 in the fourth quarter, and then they got 2 late scores. So anyway, Martinsville just about a half-hour drive down just about a half-hour drive down Indiana 37 from here. So I hope you all will get out there for that one. It'll be my 4th time covering Plainfield at Martinsville. I also did so in 2012, 2014, and 2016. Every time I've ever been there, I had the visiting press box all to myself. Hopefully I will this time too. I always love visiting press boxes because they're so quiet and make it easier for me to commentate. And I was so disappointed last year when I found out that I no longer had a space in the Whiteland visiting press box. I think they had their student radio crew in there or something like that, or some other radio crew. But anyway, so now they've got the halftime clock moving again. It's down to 1:46 in county. Both teams are out on the field warming up now for the second half. Plainfield trailing by 14. They do get the ball first. They really need a score on this opening drive. And because it's a multi-possession deficit, I think they're going to have to show some urgency, especially because Whiteland has already had a 7-minute plus scoring drive in this game. Even, if we say we get 4 or 5, we take 4 or 5 minutes and score, normally that would be fine. But the problem is then we're still down by 1 possession, and, if Whiteland gets the ball back and they run off 6 or 7 minutes, that could take us down into the fourth quarter. And again, we have not shown we can stop them. So hopefully Coach Woodard made some good adjustments at halftime that will give us, a shot to get back in this game here. But this first possession, I think the first possession on each side of the ball is going to be critical. Obviously, we need not just a score, but a touchdown here when we get the ball to start the half. But then the defense has got to do something. I think the defense is struggling with confidence right now. The good news, like I said, none of the other 3 teams in our sectional have a rushing offense anywhere near as good as Whiteland. So even if we lose this game, we're still going to have a fair shot to come back and win the sectional. So don't give up on that at all. But the main thing is I want us to be competitive in the second half. I don't want us to get blown out. I want us to play with a chip on our shoulder and just, if we're going to go down, let's go down fighting, and let's make sure that this is not the last game of Coach Woodard's career. Of course, some of it has to do with the almighty draw, but if we keep advancing in the sectional, we will get some home playoff games.
All right, let's thank the sponsors again. CCB Contracting, Geodis, Ganell Financial, Julia Burbridge of RE/MAX Centerstone Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield Mortgage Lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley Fairway Mortgage, Bailey & Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, My IT Indy at myitindy.com, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. Again, I'm Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn coming to you live tonight from Plainfield High School, where your Quakers trail it by a score of 28-14. Again, Plainfield will get the ball to begin the second half. They will move from left to right on your computer screen. Plainfield in the home red uniforms, white letters and numbers, gray helmets, gray pants. And the Whiteland Warriors, the visitors, in the white jerseys, blue helmets, blue letters and numbers, and orange pants. So Plainfield getting ready to receive the kick, and we will be ready to go.
It looks kind of like Ohio State versus the Denver Broncos.
It does, or in this case, it might be Boise State.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. And, of course, Plainfield looked more like IU before they put the silver on their helmets. And now an onside kick.
And it is not going to go.
No, it doesn't go the 10 yards.
10 yards out of bounds. So good break for Ohio State. First down and 10 for good field position for Plainfield.
And, I just want to say a special thanks. Plainfield, the whole 11 years that I've been coming out here, and hopefully there'll be more to come, but they've always, treated me like family. And I especially want to thank them for serving pizza for every home game this year. They've got, I haven't gotten much food service at any of the 4 road games I've been to this year, but Plainfield's had delicious pizza and soda for every game. So thanks to the great staff here.
All right, there you go. So let's see what Plainfield can do on their first possession of the second half. Great field position.
We got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, all the way down at the 44 as it went out of bounds at about the 47, and then the penalty on top of that. And it's Plainfield ball, 1st and 10. Hunter Newell working out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Snap, give, ball, fumbled, live ball.
No.
And I think, well, let's see. And that is a fumble, and it is Whiteland ball.
And, I kept on looking forward to us getting first possession to start the second half. And then on top of that, you had the great field position and all for that.
Not a good start for Plainfield in the second half. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Whiteland Warriors at the 48-yard line.
And, Rob, while you were away and I was talking about the keys to the second half for Plainfield, I said the defense is just going to have to do something, and they have not made us stop the whole game. We got to start making some stops.
Yeah, that's about as bad a start as you could hope for in the first half, and then we saw it again in the second half. 1st down and 10 coming up for Whitelands. Man goes in motion from left to right, snap, end around to the far side of the field, and just again getting that edge with just there's no end to staying at home there. Gain of about 8 yards that time on 1st down.
Jonathan Crowley there on the carry. They do give him credit for 8. He already has a touchdown on this game as well. I have him 7 for 45. And thanks for closing the window there, Rob. I was starting to get chilly.
Yeah, it was getting a little cold. We like that crowd ambiance, but at this point, I think we're live. So,
yes, we are.
All right, so there's the snap, give straight ahead, big hole, 1st down across the 40, down to about the 38-yard line.
Who is that?
Let's see, number 4 that time.
Yeah, Imberton, yeah. Peyton Imberton. Rob, I wonder how many more years we're going to be commentating regularly guys named Peyton.
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, the Peyton man, well, anybody that was born in, say, you'd be 18 if you were born in 4.
Yeah.
So, basically, I'd say you've got a good another 7 or 8 years of that.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was, especially in Central Indiana, a pretty known, beloved figure. Because he played here through 2011, right?
Right, yeah. Well, 2011 was the injury season,
right?
Where he missed the whole season.
So you've realistically probably got people who were still born in 2012, maybe even some 13s, where that was still a thing. And probably another, what would that be, 31? Another 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, and unquestionably the most popular pro athlete in state history. He surpassed Reggie Miller. So now for the Warriors, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now Denham, he's pressured. He gets rid of it. Did he make the catch?
No, incomplete on the far side of the field. The intended receiver that time, number 2, Brady Stanifer.
And he had he caught the only other pass by Denham in this game. It went for 20 yards. So now 3rd and 8. We've got to get him off the field here. That's all there is to it.
As you said, that's only the 2nd pass attempt of the ball game.
Yeah, and keep in mind, coming into this game, Whiteland's a heavily rushing team, but not to that extent. They're just under 5-to-1 rush-pass ratio coming into tonight. But since since Plainfield hasn't showed they can stop the run, why not?
Play action in the backfield, caught, throws it up, and it is going to be dropped incomplete. That was a jump ball that time, as the quarterback was stuck in the backfield. Host of Quakers closing down on him, and number 2 that time, Stanifer, incomplete. And it looks like let's see here. It looks there's some coming on, some coming off. So I don't know if that means they're going to go for it or not. I initially thought maybe that meant the punt team, but they're huddling as though it's they're going to go for it here, it looks like, Leck. And why not?
Boy, and this will be devastating if we don't get them off the field here. But I'm surprised that Denham threw the pass that way. Because it was a fairly dangerous pass. It could have been intercepted. But anyway, back to action here.
4th down coming up. Snap back to pass. Steps up, throws. It is caught on the far side of the field. Wrapped up and taken down. What a great defensive play that time by number 6 for the Plainfield Quakers. That was Hunter Newell. No, that was not Hunter Newell. That's not number 6. What am I telling? Number 5. Boy, those numbers are hard to see.
Herbeck.
Harrison Herbeck. That is definitely not Hunter Newell.
Yeah. So, anyway, Plainfield takes over at the 33. So that fumble, not too terribly hurtful. Not as much as it could have
just,
been.
Just lost about 2 minutes and 10 seconds worth of time and about 30 yards. Yeah, 30 yards. So here we go. First down and 10 for Plainfield. Moving from left to right. 3 receivers wide to the right. Nobody to the left side. Snap. Quick drop. Throws. Incomplete. Threw it behind the intended receiver that time, Isaiah Miller.
Yeah, Plainfield, but that's really odd that, Whiteland threw only 1 pass in the first half, and all of a sudden on the last drive, it's a really interesting strategy. All of a sudden, 3 passes in a row, 2 of them incomplete, and the other one going only for about 3 yards. So
could just be working on it. Maybe they feel confident where the game's at and wanted to give it a shot.
Possibly, yeah, and maybe that they feel that confident that they're going to pull off this win. And they might, but, Plainfield not out of it yet. We got to get something going here, though.
Back to pass, steps up, has time now, thought about taking off, and now is going to just run out of bounds. Loss of about 3 yards that time. So Plainfield struggling to move the ball. He had time to throw, just nobody could get open. And it'll bring up third down.
We got to get something going here. 9:39 to go here in the third quarter on Senior Day at Plainfield. Whiteland 28, Plainfield 14. The Warriors have won 10 of the last 11 versus the Quakers. The last Quakers win in the series coming in 2017 as they give they mark Newell for -1. They're bringing up 3rd and 11 at the 32. Low snap, but he gets it, rolls to his right. Looks downfield, passes, it's complete to Irwin, and he catches it. He dodges a sack. He's going to be close to the first down. He might have it depending on the spot. Great second effort there by Grant Irwin breaking a tackle.
Did they give it to him? Boy, that's real close. Oh, they
did.
What a great effort there by Grant Irwin. That was phenomenal. What a great effort. Grant Irwin extending that play, was tackled well short of the first down, was able to get out of it and keep the drive going. So a little spark there for Plainfield as it'll bring up first down and 10, ball up the 43-yard line.
Irwin now 4 for 42 on his senior day. Hopefully he'll have at least 1 touchdown in there. He has 4 on the season, 5 for his career.
Snap, back to pass, steps up, throwing, down the field, got a man. It's caught by Isaiah Miller at the 30-yard line.
All right. I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, again, Isaiah Miller going up, very similar to the way he caught that touchdown pass, going up over his head, pulling the ball down with 2 hands, and it's a first down and 10 for the Plainfield Quakers. 8:59 left to go in the third quarter.
So Quakers are in business here. The chance to make it a 1-possession game here. That play covers 27 yards.
3 receivers wide to the left. Snap, give, straight ahead. Nothing doing that time. Ran into his own man. That was number 16, Troy Larson, with the run.
So we got to make up for that now. Larson, I'll tell you, Larson's got great speed. He's had some great moments here, in his only year of varsity football action. But I just wonder how much better he would have been had he played football as his main sport all along. He certainly has the tools.
Yeah, he's a fast individual.
Not only fast, but just his explosive out-of-the-gate speed, too.
2 receivers to the left, 2 men to the right. Snap, back to pass, steps up, has time. Now he's going to take off with it. Nope, now he's going to throw it, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, number 10 on the play, that was Grant Irwin. I thought he was going to run with it there.
I did too, yeah. And he might have had better success had he done so, by the way.
So third down coming up, probably given the propensity again of the Whiteland Warriors to score points in bunches. You're going to see a 4-down territory here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I have no doubt about that, knowing Coach Woodard as well as I do. And you know him even better than I do, but yeah, I know that this is easily 4-down territory for Coach.
Working out of the gun. Newell, 3 men to the left, 1 man to the right. Snap, draw play. And that will get him down to about the 30-yard line.
And make the 4th down at least more manageable. Larson has one of his better gains of the evening, although it's not great. So they just get him back to where Miller ended up after the catch. So 4th and 10 now. We did score a touchdown earlier in the game on 4th and goal at the 7. So we do have the precedent of converting on when we're up against a wall. So 3 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right, 1 running back, Newell in shotgun.
Snap, rolling left side, rolling, flushed out, avoids one tackle, stays on his feet. He's got room to run. He is going to be hit and dropped, though, at about the 25-yard line. Ran out of real estate, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Good effort, though, by Hunter Newell. He's a great competitor, and I'm really hoping we'll be back next year to cover his senior season. I think he's got a lot of potential, and picks up 4 on that one. So Whiteland will be taking over at the 26. And we'll see what happens now, because last time they got down well into Quaker territory, and then after throwing only one pass previously in the entire game, all of a sudden they threw 3 passes in a row. The first 2 incomplete, the last one on 4th and 8, they only picked up about 3 yards. So anyway, hopefully Plainfield will keep that momentum going, although we haven't shown that we can stop their rushing all game.
And the give is no gain on first down.
Okay, I believe that was Perkins there. So, yeah, that's one of the few times when they've been stopped for little or no gain throughout the entire evening. And I say the word evening a lot. When I say the word gain, I try not to say the word game right after. I did that a lot early in my career, and I would get tongue-tied. So now, if I say gain, I will say evening instead of game.
Snap, pitch to the near side of the field, gets out of one tackle, bounces it further to the far side of the field, and a very short gain on the play. He ran about 30 yards, maybe 40 yards. That time, number 13, Moore Smith, but ended up about 1 yard forward. A lot of east to west, not a whole lot of north to south.
Yeah, I like the competitive spirit of that young man, though. They do give him credit for 2 at least. They're very well earned 2 yards, by the way. So 3rd and 8, we got to get him off the field here. We finally did last time after they scored a touchdown on their first 4 possessions. We got to get him off the field here.
Yeah, let's see what Plainfield can do defensively. And a little end around, and he's going to be short. Stopped at about the 34. Needed to get the 36. So a 4th down at about 2. And maybe we will see the first punt of the night for the Whiteland Warriors. I don't think Whiteland has been penalized this entire game, Leck.
I never thought about it, but I think you're right. I think you're right about that. And of course, they give Perkins, by the way, credit for 5 there. So it's 4th and 3. They are in position to punt. I wouldn't be shocked if they went for a fake here. By the way, keep in mind Plainfield has blocked 5 kicks on the year, so hopefully they got another one. Hopefully they got another one coming right here.
It is a fake. And he is going to have it.
Oh, no.
He's up across the 50, down to the 45. And that time on the fake, number 3, Dalton Hughes. Plainfield was just totally asleep on that one.
It's 25 yards there. Man. Well, don't forget, we got one more regular season game coming up next week at Martinsville to close out the regular season. Then after that, we got 2 weeks to tweak everything for the playoffs, and we'll know on Sunday who our opponent will be and where.
All right, so let's see if the defense can step back up here again. Snap, give straight ahead, hit, and dropped that time. I believe that was 21 Valentine on the run.
But that is, I give Whiteland all the I give Whiteland all the credit in the world, though. I mean that was that was a heck of a fake there, and then now Valentine picks up a couple there.
So the Plainfield defense has certainly looked better here in the second half, and obviously down 2 scores as we wind down the third quarter. They can't give up any ground in terms of getting further behind. Snap, pitch, go straight ahead, very close to a first down. Now they'll put him down actually back at about the 35. He needs to get to the 32, so a 3rd down and 3 coming up for Whiteland.
Who is the ball carrier there?
Didn't see. I think it might have been a 4.
Yeah, that would be Crowley then.
3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The clock winding down here.
Very critical 3rd and 3 for the Quakers, although obviously this is 4-down territory.
Snap, pitch, cuts it back, big hole, and he's got the first down and then some. I mean, it's just amazing. Like, the Whiteland doesn't hold. They don't, no false starts.
Yeah, they are an incredible, like Franklin last week, an incredible fundamental team. Absolutely incredible. So I give both teams all the credit in the world for the way they've just stuck it to us. I mean, that's just outstanding. Chris Cole, an outstanding coach for Franklin. Obviously, we're up against another one tonight, Darren Fisher for Chris Cole for Franklin, and now Darren Fisher for Whiteland.
Gives straight ahead, gain of about 5 on first down. That time it was number 11, Malik Perkins on the carry.
He had the 76-yard touchdown in the first quarter to open the scoring here. Picks up, they give him credit for 5 on that one. I have him 8 for 86 on the game, including that touchdown. It was the 57-yard touchdown to start off the game. So 2nd and 5 at the 24 for the Warriors, 2:22 to go and counting here in the third quarter, 8:48 your time of day.
Down under center, man goes in motion from right to left. Snap, little misdirection. Hit
Yes! All right.
in the backfield. Big hit that time by Plainfield's number 53, Croy Teamer. And so nice hit that time, pushing them back. 3rd down and long coming up. That was a little misdirection play. They faked everybody like it was going to the left, pitched it to the right. The running back had one man to beat. And fortunately for Plainfield, Teamer said, not today, not on that play anyway, and pushed him back near the initial line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 10, the board says, with 1:40 left to go in the third quarter.
And Rob, it looked to me like he was just pouring out all his frustration out on Crowley there on that vicious tackle.
All right, let's see if the Plainfield defense can step up again. Snap, play action, rolling, throwing. It is caught. He's wide open. He's inside the 10. He's inside the 5, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, devastating. So on one possession, they score, and who was it? Number 88, I believe. That was Cameron Cooper.
Yep.
So, yeah, God, that is absolutely devastating, brutal. And that just really sums it up. The fact that on one possession, and hold that thought till after this play here. Mathis on the extra point. It is up, and it is good. He is 5 of 5 on the game. He's 28 of 30 on the season. He is a senior for the Warriors. And I'll tell you, on one possession, and this is how good Whiteland is. This is why they were number 1 here in the class earlier this season, now ranked number 3. Man, when on one possession you go for a fake punt on 4th and 2, deep in your own territory, and you make it, and then later on that possession you convert on a 3rd and 10 with a 27-yard touchdown pass, you are one heck of a team. And I would not be surprised if Whiteland ended up, winning the state championship this year in Class 5A. And, I'll tell you, obviously I want Plainfield to win this game, but I always like to see the mid-state conference teams do well, when they're not playing Plainfield in the playoffs. I was really glad to see Decatur Central get to the Class 5A state championship game back in 2018. They lost to New Palestine. And now the PA playing Don't Stop Believing by Journey, and that's a great message for all of us now. So I hope that all of you fans won't stop believing. We still got the regular season finale next week at Martinsville. Then we got, and now an onside kick, and we recovered there right around our own 40.
Yeah, nice job by the Plainfield player. It hit him. It was a squib kick. That was number 25 for Plainfield that time, falling on the football. That is Bo Myers. I feel like we called his name in the JV game.
We might have, yeah. And, of course, last week at Franklin, it was Bo Baker who returned that fumble, 99 yards for the touchdown. That was, when it was going to be 21-13, turned into 28-6. That was painful.
All right, so let's see what happens here. 3 receivers to the right. One man in the backfield. Snap, play action, flushed out.
Get rid of it. Come on.
And now drives forward, and he's going to be sacked. Loss of about 3 yards on first down.
He did a good job breaking the first tackle, but he didn't do what he needed to do, which is get rid of it. So, anyway.
Yeah, and a little scrum after the play. No flags fly. I don't know, Leck, if I've ever seen a high school game where a team was not penalized.
I don't think I have. This is my 115th varsity game. I'm pretty sure I haven't.
I guess they did get a flag earlier. Yeah, that's right. They did. They kicked it. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's.
So we stand corrected.
But, yeah, that's.
Totally escaped my mind. Snap, back to pass, rolling to the right side, rolling. Stepping out of bounds. No gain.
He was well covered.
Yeah, I guess they'll give him a yard. Nope, now they'll move back to the initial line of scrimmage. So I don't think that goes as a sack. I think that goes as just a no gain. Third down coming up. So Plainfield, after that vaunted couple of drives there in the first half, and then marched all the way down into Whiteland territory just a couple drives ago, and since then has looked rather anemic, and Whiteland has really put some distance between themselves and the Quakers with 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Snap, back to pass. Throws, caught, and they'll put him down at about the 44-yard line. He needs to get just past the 50.
That's Irwin.
So it'll be 4th down and about 6.
And that's, I think, going to run out the quarter.
Yeah, it will. So let's take a moment to thank the sponsors who have made our broadcast possible all year long. CCB Contracting, Geodis, Ganell Financial, Julia Burbridge, Remax Centerstone Plainfield, Kyle Burnfield, Mortgage Lender at Flagstar Bank, Team Turley, Fairway Mortgage, Bailey & Wood Financial Group, African Plum Home, My IT Indy at myitindy.com, I-70 Wrecker Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, The Beacon Sign Company, Jeff Brown Photography, Karen Alexander Photography, and Whitlow's Towing. Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn coming to you tonight from Plainfield High School Senior Night, where your Quakers trail the Whiteland Warriors by a score of 35-15.
Well, it has not been overall a bad performance by Plainfield. They've done a lot of good things on passing offense. Hunter Newell's played one of his better games of his career. Isaiah Miller especially has had a lot of bright spots at wide receiver. Grant Irwin has had a few as well playing on his senior day. But we're just up against, an extraordinary rushing offense, and playing these guys is going to make us tougher for the playoffs. I mean, these guys are better than anybody. Because, the 2 good teams in our sectional, Harrison and Decatur Central, I've commentated them this year. I can tell you Whiteland is much better than, either of those teams. So, after going up against this rushing offense, I think that Decatur Central or Harrison or whoever we play in the sectional is going to seem easy by comparison. So I should still give us a shot to win the sectional, but we got still a quarter here to play today, and then a full game next week at Martinsville. So one game, one play at a time. So the Quakers now start off 4th and 7 at the 44. They are going for it. Newell, and he's got the cat. No, he dropped it. The intended receiver was Antonio Williams, who's been, I believe it was.
Yeah, they called his name really tonight.
Yeah, that was Antonio Williams. Yeah, that's right. Just I thought, yeah, that's number 4 there. Yeah, so Hunter Newell is 14 of 23 tonight, passing 137 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. But I'll tell you, once Newell starts to get up over 20 passes, Plainfield's in trouble, because it means they were playing from behind a lot. So, and that's not, generally when quarterbacks start throwing a lot, more often than not they lose. So now pitch back, and he's got some room on the left side. He's first down close to the 30. That was Slate Valentine, who's had a quietly effective game for the Warriors. To give him credit for 13 there, I have him 8 for 46. When some of these senior running backs graduate after this season, Valentine as a junior next year and then a senior the year after that should be a focal point of the offense here for the Warriors. 1st and 10 at the 31 now. pitch back there. I believe that's Valentine again, and he's hit twice, and they finally bring him down for a gain of just about a yard. 11:16 to go and counting here. Plainfield apparently will take another loss on Senior Day, as they generally do every 2 years. This is the sixth, consecutive time, of course, in the even-numbered years when Whiteland has beaten Plainfield on their Senior Day. Plainfield has gotten some Senior Day wins in the odd-numbered years when we've played Martinsville in that time. And now pitch back, and now he breaks a tackle, goes up around the 25. I might have had the first down again. That was a pitch back there. Who was that? Number 32, I believe. That was Crowley. Now they give him credit for 11. I have Crowley 12 for 65 and a touchdown. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Clock stop, 10:43 to go here in the fourth quarter. Whiteland 35, Plainfield 14. Keep in mind, Whiteland is ranked number 3 in Class 5A, was ranked number 1 2 weeks ago before their loss to Martinsville. And now a pitch to Perkins. Tries to get through on the left side, only gets about 2. Perkins having a great game. He scored a 57-yard touchdown pass early in the first quarter that helped the Warriors take charge of this game. Give him credit for 2 on that one. I have him 9 for 88. So 2nd and 8 at the 18, 10:13 to go. So 2 receivers now to the right. And now fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He's got some room inside the 15, inside the 10. I think he was right out of bounds at the 10. Denham, I believe that might be his first rush of the game. Let me check here. He hasn't rushed much, at least. No, that is his first rush.
I think it's Lafayette, Harrison, Lafayette, Jeff.
It's Lafayette, McCutcheon, Decatur Central, and Harrison.
I knew it was 2 Lafayette.
So that they give him credit for, they give Denham credit for 8 yards on his first keeper of the game. So 1st and 10 at the 10 for the Warriors, 9:56 to go. And now handoff, I can't tell who got it, but he got about 3 or 4 yards. So Crowley again, give him credit for 6 on that one. $9:34 to go, 8:59 your time of day. Plainfield apparently will have a multi-possession loss here. Hopefully we'll finish strong. Now they send Brady Stanifer out to the left as a wide receiver. Got 2 running backs here. Doing a little shifting there at the line. Denham under center. Pitches back to, and now he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten 1 or 2. That was Emberton there, the team's leading rusher on the season, having a fairly modest game as far as numbers, but he does have 2 touchdowns. I have him now 11 for 44 by my count. So 3rd and goal now at the 5. It would be great if we could get a stop here, keep him from getting any points, and have a chance to get the ball back, at least make it a 2-possession deficit, which would actually not be that bad considering the opponent we're up against. So now 1 receiver at each side, 2 running backs. Now fakes the handoff, throws, and I think it looked like the pass was tipped at the line, and then it was deflected to the ground, incomplete. So 4th and goal now for the Warriors.
Man, he had a guy wide open in the flat, and he never saw him. Number 33, it looked like that time. Devin Armstrong, looked like he was just wide open, and luckily for Plainfield, he didn't see him.
Yes, lucky for Plainfield. So, we probably don't have much of a chance to win, but we can at least make the final score a lot better. So, let's see what they do. Will they go for a field goal? Let's see, or will they go for the touchdown? Mathis did kick a 26-yarder earlier this year, but now they're going for it, and he's got some room on the left side. I think he's going to get in, and we got a flag. He's in, but we got a flag.
Hey, there's a flag.
Yes, a gate, so it will be coming back. Okay. All right, good. So that'll, I guess, make it 4th and 10 here. And now looks like they're going to go for the field goal. David Mathis is 1 for 2 on the year on field goals with a long, the only one he made was 26. 52 degrees your temperature now here in Plainfield. We're supposed to have a high of 59 for the regular season finale at Martinsville. At Martinsville 1 week from tonight, and now we've got a 32-yard field goal attempt by David Mathis. Keep in mind we've blocked 5 kicks on the season. Hopefully this will be 6 here. One of the maybe the most underrated achievement of Plainfield all year. High snap, and they get it down. The kick is up, and it is good. So that makes it 38-14 as Mathis gets his 2nd field goal of the season. That one coming from 32 yards. His first was from 26. All right, well, it's just, let's finish strong, boys. We got, the regular season finale next week, and then 3 weeks from tonight we start the playoffs. I was hoping it would be closer than this. I went in thinking that we had a fighting chance to win, but it's not an embarrassment. This is not as bad as losing 35-12 to Franklin. The thing about Franklin, it wasn't so much that we lost, it was that we beat ourselves. I always talk about never leaving points on the field. We left, really at least 14 points, arguably 21 on the field last week. But even if you just give us the 14 points, and keep in mind that 7 of those points that we lost, Franklin turned into 7 points of their own when Troy Larson fumbled at the 1, and then Bo Baker for Franklin returned it 99 yards for a touchdown. So you take away those 3 plays, and we might have won or at least been neck and neck at the end. And now a short range kick, and it's caught at the 48. At the 38, he takes it up to about the 43 there.
He fumbled, but I think it went out of bounds.
Yeah.
By the way,
so.
That last drive was 9 plays, 29 yards, 3:36 off the clock, resulting in a 31-yard field goal.
All right, so still a shot to finish the game strong. So fans slowly starting to file out here at Plainfield. We did not get as good a crowd as I hoped tonight for what could be, but hopefully will not be, Coach Woodard's final home game. But I understand it is chilly. And under normal circumstances, I don't think the cold weather would keep the crowd away. But I think it's when the cold weather just sneaks up on you like this and you're not accustomed to it, when we've had good weather for most of the year. And now we fumble, and Whiteland's got it. Well, I'm going to teach you all a new word, as we say back in Sweden, förbervelen. So that's it. Förbervelen. It's a Swedish word that people say when they're mad.
Oh, something you can say on the radio?
Yes. It's not an obscenity, no, but it literally means the executioner. But yeah, that's what people say when they're mad in Sweden. So, anyway, yeah. So now, that was a handoff there to Emberton. Picks up about 2. So Emberton picks up 2 yards there, bringing it 12. I've got him 12 for 46 and 2 touchdowns on the game. He now has 9 touchdowns in 8 games on the season. He is the team's leading rusher. Should be playing college ball a year from now. 2nd and 8 at the 31 now for the Warriors. Now we got some movement at the line, and we got a flag here. And my son Liam just looked today at Grant Irwin's Instagram page and saw he was wearing an Indiana Wesleyan shirt. So maybe he is planning on maybe he's being recruited by is Indiana Wesleyan the Wildcats? Yeah. So maybe Grant Irwin will be playing there the next year, which would, I'll tell you, since he barely played varsity ball till his senior year, it's especially a great achievement if he ends up playing college ball. Hopefully he will. So 2nd and 3 now for the Warriors, 6:58 to go. And now Emberton, again, I think he has the first. If not, he's within a yard. 6:45 to go. This is game 8 out of 9 in the regular season. We still got a regular season game to go at Martinsville 1 week from tonight. Martinsville, a tough team, 6-1. They are ranked number 8 in class 4A, and they actually hard to believe they actually beat Martinsville. It's hard for me to imagine that this. I'm sorry that they beat Whiteland 2 weeks ago. It's hard for me to imagine any 4A team beating Whiteland. I don't think there's probably more than 4 or 5 teams that could potentially beat Whiteland. I mean, Harrison is ranked number 6 in Class 5A, and I don't think they would have, more than a 1 in 20 chance to beat Whiteland. So now we got an injury down. They did give Emberton credit for the first down there, by the way. But yeah, Harrison, I'm sorry. And now the injured Quaker is walking off the field with assistance. Looks like he's slightly limping, so maybe it's just a slight ankle sprain. Hopefully it is nothing serious. Liam, can you see his number?
Which one?
The guy with 28. Okay, he is Aiden Crouch. So now 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 23. 6:43 to go here in the game. Whiteland 38, Plainfield 14. Now pitch back. He's got some room on the left side. He breaks a tackle, and he's that was Valentine again, the promising sophomore. Slate, spelled Slate, not Slade, but Slate. Give him credit for 5 on that one. $6:10 to go. 2 receivers to the right, one to the left. 2 running backs. Now handoff again. And that was Emberton. He's inside of the 10. He's got a first down. First and goal at the 8 now for the Warriors. Whiteland apparently will keep its starters in and try to get one more score. They got a 32-yard field goal by David Mathis last time downfield, and then Plainfield fumbled on the ensuing possession. And now that was Moore Smith, and for the sake of clarification, that's a hyphenated last name, Moore, M-O-O-R-E dash Smith. Nereus Moore Smith. Nereus, I've never heard that name before. He's another sophomore along with Gordon. Picks up 5 there. Second and goal at the 3 now, under 5 minutes to go in the game here on Senior Day, 9:10 your time of day. So Warriors line up 2 running backs, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now a pitch back, and he takes it to the end zone. I think he's going to be... So that, yeah, did he get the touchdown? Or is he going to be a yard short? I think he's going to be a yard short. That was, they said 33. That's Devin Armstrong. So 3rd and goal at the 1, 4:24 to go. So Whiteland trying to cap off the game with one more score. So a sad Senior Day here at Red Pride Stadium, but we could have another home game in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll, get a win then. And now quarterback sneak is good. So Kevin Denham makes it 44-14 with the conversion pending, 4:05 to go. So Denham, two keepers tonight. The latter goes 1 yard on a quarterback sneak for a touchdown. 4:05 to go, and the kick is up, and it is good. So 45-14 your score. So sorry for my lack of emotion lately. I feel kind of beaten down by this loss, but we'll be back. We'll be back next week. Thing is, next week we need to finish strong. We need to have a good game against Martinsville.
That drive, by the way, Lex, 7 plays, 33 yards, 4:07 on the time.
And one thing that I'm awestruck about in regard to Whiteland, it's not so much the talent. They have good talent, but not great talent. It's that they're just so darn fundamentally sound. They're so efficient, so well coached. If Darren Fisher were at a 6A school here in Indianapolis and had the same level of success rather than at a 5A school in the suburbs, he would be regularly up there as one of the elite coaches in the state. Very, very underrated. And he is the dean of Mid-State Conference coaches, and apparently will remain so for as long as he And now after Coach Woodard steps down and Mike Campbell also steps down at the end of the season at Greenwood, I think Kyle Enright is is next in seniority. I think he's in his 8th year now with 7th or 8th year. Yeah, it's his 7th year. 7th year with Decatur Central. So now the Plainfield receives the kickoff, and it's out of bounds. They take it out of bounds close to the 25, 4:01 to go. Let's try to finish with a score here, boys. Build some momentum going into next week. And keep in mind, we still got 3 weeks. The playoffs don't start until 3 weeks from tonight. So we still have time to fix some of these problems. And, of course, we'll have a game to tune up against Martinsville next week. Down at Martinsville, just about 30 miles from here. So get out to the game if you can. Should be decent weather, high projection of 59. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Or I'm sorry, the opposite. And now Newell chased. He's now he just throws it away. Wow. Yeah, he did a good job getting rid of it. Almost got it onto the jogging track. Newell 14 for 24 today. So anyway, overall it was a good effort by Plainfield. They were just up against a mammoth of an opponent. And the thing is, we didn't make a lot of serious mistakes tonight, maybe 3 or 4, but the thing is, against a team like Whiteland, usually you can't get away with even one mistake. You make one mistake and they'll bite you. And now, and that just sums up how the way the game has been. Finally, Antonio Williams gets his first carry of the game, and he's hammered right around the line of scrimmage. 3:40 to go and counting. And boy, you got to like the spirit of the Whiteland fans across the field. They're bundled up and really appreciating this team. But assuming we don't play Whiteland in the tournament, I think we could play them in the regional. But if we don't play Whiteland in the tournament, I would like to see them go and win the state championship. I think Darren Fisher certainly deserves it. So Williams 1 yard there, making it 3rd and 9, 3:09 to go and counting. Snap, fakes the handoff. Newell rolls to his right, throws. He's got a completion, and he gets out of bounds. That was Chris Stevens there on his first reception of the game. He does have the first down. Okay, good. So that's a pickup of 11 there as Chris Stevens, who's shown some promise down the stretch. He's had some good moments, although he's not done much the last couple of games. He does get an 11-yard pickup right there. So 1st and 10 at 1st and 10 Plainfield at their own 35. Now a handoff there, and he's got a room up the middle, and he's got a first down, breaks a couple of tackles, gets up to about the 50. It's a late hit. That was Antonio Williams. I don't know why it took so long to get him in the action tonight, but he looked good on that play. And I thought they might have committed a late hit on him right there. but nevertheless, it was a good pickup. They take it up to the 50 there. So, first and 10 for the Quakers at the 50, 2:33 to go and counting. They trail 45-14, trying to finish the game on a positive note heading into next week's regular season finale. Now another handoff, and this time I think he's got another first down. That was Williams again. And now I'm wondering, where was Williams the first 3 quarters? I mean, and then now all of a sudden back-to-back plays of 15 and 10 yards. A very quiet, and this is a senior day too. So first and 10 for the Quakers at the Whiteland 40, 2:04 to go and counting, trailing by 31. Whiteland ranked number 3 here in Class 5A, a strong state championship contender. And now it gives it to Williams again. This time they're on top of him, but he still breaks a tackle and gets 3 or 4. It looked like he was trying to get out of bounds. I don't think he quite got there. I'm glad to see Antonio Williams getting into the action on his senior day, but man, I just wish we'd gone to him earlier, seeing how effective he's been. 1:33 to go and counting now. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. I doubt there will be any timeouts used the rest of this game. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Williams, the running back. Newell in shotgun. And now 8 to go on the play clock. There's the snap. Newell drops it back. He's got time. Dodges a couple of sacks. Now he's got some room. He could take it himself. He does up to the 35, and he slides down. A pickup of only about 3. I wish he would have gotten out of bounds. Nevertheless, it was a good move there, a good effort there by Newell. We have under a minute now, however, under a minute to go in the game, so we got to hurry. I'd like us to get some kind of score to close out the game here. 47 seconds now, and they don't seem to be showing any urgency. So now Braden Mills, Chris Stevens, and one other receiver to the right. I believe Williams is still in there, running back. 32 seconds now. Now a handoff, and now Larson gets a first down there, playing on his senior day. He picks up about 10 there. He's had a fairly quiet game. He had a couple of good runs early on, but hasn't done much since. They give him credit for 10, and the clock stops to move the chains with 26.8 seconds to go. We got 3 officials deliberating, however. So hopefully we will finish the game with a score. A lot of fans filing out now of Red Pride Stadium. Plainfield will lose its 2nd consecutive game to follow that. And now we've got a personal foul against both teams. Plainfield will nevertheless, the run by Larson will count nevertheless, so it'll be first and 10 at the 24. So now Irwin Miller and one other receiver out to the right, Williams the running back, and now the clock starts again. Newell in shotgun. Takes this, and now we've got a flag here. There's some movement at the line. 16.1 seconds to go. Hopefully it's against Whiteland. I think not counting the kickoffs, I think there's only been 1 penalty against the Warriors on the whole game. And then, that's against Plainfield too, so that just sums up how this night has gone. So Plainfield, following that 3-game winning streak, its first 3-game winning streak since 2015, now they dropped their 2nd in a row. So they will finish below 500 in the regular season. Hopefully not overall. Hopefully they'll get at least 3 playoff wins. And that is the game. So disappointing senior day here at Plainfield. Your Quakers lose to the Whiteland Warriors 45-14, heading into next week's regular season finale at Martinsville.
All right, so that is going to do it for us tonight. Great job, Alec.
Thank you.
As always, again, Plainfield falling tonight 45-14. They move to 3-5 on the year. Whiteland with the win. They move to 7-1. As Lex said, we will see you back here next Friday evening as we wrap up the regular season on the road at Martinsville. And we will have the Brian Woodard Show for you coming up on Sunday, made available sometime Sunday via podcast.
And also, don't forget, Sunday at 5 o'clock, you can find out where and against whom the Quakers will be opening their postseason on the tournament selection show on the IHSAA webpage, Sunday at 5.
All right, one final time for Lex Zorn. I'm Rob Kendall, 45-14 your score tonight. Quakers on the low end. We'll see you next Friday. For Lex, I'm Rob. Have yourself a great evening.
Good night.